What's going on? What's going on, film fam? Welcome to another episode of Let the Film Speak. I am one of your hosts, Chop. Here with my main man, Willie Jack. Willie Jack, how you feeling this evening, my dog?
Hey man, you know what's going on, man. You know it's Wednesday, it's 7 o'clock, and I'm talking ball with my dog, man. I ain't gonna ask for nothing else. I'm feeling good, feeling great, man. I'm ready to get going.
That's right, man. It is Wednesday. It is 7 o'clock, man. And we got a great episode for y'all tonight, man. Tonight, one of my favorite episodes of the year, man. Willie knows I love this. I get real excited, man. This is when we jump off the ledge. You know what I mean? We unhook them handcuffs, man. We get loose. We break loose a little bit, man. We try to see some things a lot of y'all probably don't see, man. We're gonna get into some bold predictions and award predictions, man. We predicting all the awards, coming at the end of the season, man. I'm talking MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, all those, man. We're going to run through each one of those, and then we just going to jump off the ledge and throw some bold predictions y'all way, man. So y'all stay tuned. We get into all of that tonight, man. But before we do that, you know what we got to do, man. We got to go through those house rules. That's like, that's share, that's subscribe, all right? Like, share, and subscribe. Tap in with your boys. You know what I'm saying? If you're here and you're in here right now, check in with us. Become the newest member of the Film Fam. We appreciate all the love and support. And that's my dog, Willie Jack, likes to say, talk to us, and we talk back, man. But there's one more thing, though. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, man. Hit that notification bell. How else are you going to know when me and Willie Jack got something going on, what we got cooking in the kitchen, man, and when is the next event, man? So definitely hit that, to hit that notification bell, like, share, and subscribe. And I guarantee, we will not let you down. All right. Couple of announcements, man. Same announcements as last year, man. I run through them. I gave y'all the rules, so y'all should know the rules by now. I'm gonna run through them really quick for y'all, man. But we got two things going on, man. We got two things. We got the Let the Film Speak Fantasy Football League. If you would like to join, please like, share, subscribe, and let us know you want in. You in the comments right now, just let us know you want in on that fantasy football league. Make sure you tell us that you want to get in on the fantasy football league so we can get you in, say you a spot, man. And also, we got the NFL weekly pick'em. Let the Film Speak weekly pick'em, man. You want to get involved with that? Same rules applies, man. Do that. Run through that. Let us know you want in on that weekly pick'em, and we'll get you in, get you involved, and I can whoop up on y'all, man. I can whoop up on some of y'all boys, all right? Now, let's jump into some news, Willie Jack. First bit of news we got today, man. Jadeveon Clowney, man, he goes and signs with the Baltimore Ravens, a team that's been a little thin at the defensive line spot, man. So I definitely think this is a spot that needed to be filled. Willie Jack, what's your take on this one, man?
Honestly, I like the move. Now, Clowney is a guy who, his name has lost quite a bit of steam over these last probably 4 years or so. He's bounced around quite a bit. But he's still a guy who, he's still an excellent run defender. And then, like I said, he's never quite, I guess, met the mark as far as pass rush or pass rush ability. He's never been a premium or premier top tier sack artist, so to say. But as long as the expectations now, I think, are more reasonable to what he is as a player, terrific run defender, a guy that can contribute in your pass rush games, etc. So I like to move that way. The leading sack artist for this team last year was Justin Houston with 9.5. Justin Houston was like 47 years old. He's not there no more. So there is still a hole there. They've got some young guys. David Ajobu was a guy that they drafted in the second round last year. I want to say out of Michigan, and I think he ended up tearing his knee. He missed it. He missed his whole rookie year on IR with the knee, and so now it's going to be his first year back. But I would think they're probably not comfortable going into the season, maybe leaning so heavily on such a young group, and then especially a guy who's, in essence, a de facto rookie this year as well. So you bring in a veteran like Clowney, and then like have him kind of lead that group, and then that way Ojobo, and then I'm forgetting the names of some of those other young guys in that room. But they now they get to kind of come along at a more measured pace, and then like I said, if one of those guys does hit, and then like I said, now you've got Jadeveon Clowney on first and second down, and then maybe one of these young guys comes in and gives you good reps on third down to kind of supplement. But all told, man, I think I like the move. I think it makes sense for both of them.
Absolutely. And like I said before, man, it was a signing where they needed to add a little bit of a veteran presence on this defensive line, but also add somebody that could just be an addition, could be an improvement. That's one thing we always talked about with Jadeveon Clowney is, yeah, his name has lost the steam. He doesn't put up the big sack numbers that you always look for or that we were hoping for when he first got drafted. But in terms of being that guy that can be in our stuff that run, and be involved in that part of the game, I think he still can get out there and do that and be effective, down in and down out. So I like the move for the Ravens for sure. All right, like the move for the Ravens. In other news, the Indianapolis Colts, Willie Jack, they have gave permission to Jonathan Taylor for him to seek a trade. Man, they gave him permission. This is a little surprising to me because from what I heard from Jim Irsay in the interviews that he did was, look, man, we ain't trading you now, and we ain't trading you later. That was what he was standing on, and it was kind of, it feels like, and I feel like this kind of in the beginning, but it felt like, man, you was just talking. You was just being loud, being noisy, but you was just all barking, no bite. And that's what it seems like now, especially with the coach coming out and saying, look, we are allowing you to seek a trade. All right, we're allowing you to seek a trade. Of course, we done talked about the running back market, a lot throughout this offseason. So, there's a lot of those things that come into play. But my ultimate feeling on this is this: I think the Indianapolis kind of botched this job, in my opinion, especially with you bringing a rookie quarterback, starting a rookie quarterback. Hey man, pair him next to one of the best. Somebody that's been there, has been doing it, man. And also, what are you showing the rest of your team? What are you telling the rest of your team that you're pretty much allowing your best player, to and giving them other opportunities to walk out that door. Willie Jack, what's your take? That's kind of my take on it, man. What's your take on
Yeah.
it?
Honestly, I think I agree. Like you're saying, I can see how it kind of sounds like Jim Irsay's kind of talking out both sides of his mouth, where he came out so strong against the trade. It was gonna be like, man, you're gonna play here, play nowhere, and then now they gave him permission to see the trade. But I guess to play devil's advocate, looking on the other side, I think even him coming out with that statement, like that's negotiating, like that's setting the price for the market. So he publicly releases that you ain't going nowhere no matter what. So that lets anybody know, okay, well, if we go get this guy, Jim doesn't want to let him go, and so now it maintains his value on the seller's market. I think it's how that statement can be used or construed. And so is because the truth of it is nobody's untouchable in this league. We've seen that all day long. And so for the right price, everybody can go. You know what I mean? There's outside of maybe a handful of guys, six or seven quarterbacks or whatever the case, but barring that, everybody can go for the right price. And especially a guy who's not quiet about how unhappy he is. And so now you run the risk of if we leave him in the locker room, now he poisons the locker room. This is already a young team. And just like my dog Chop just said, you brought in a rookie quarterback, and so he's going to be infinitely closer to Jonathan Taylor than he ever will be to Jim Irsay as far as on the day to day. So now, do you want Jonathan Taylor poisoning the ear of your top 5 rookie quarterback now? So it's also risky to leave him in that locker room in that environment as well. And then also, even giving him permission at this time, because we got to remind ourselves, Chop, we're 2 weeks from the regular season. Rosters are all but set. Teams are working now to find the last 5 to 6 guys of the 53-man roster. There's going to be cut downs here this next following week. So the chances of him realistically finding a trade partner, and then that trade partner at this time of the year having the necessary draft capital and money, because don't forget, this whole ordeal is over money. So not only do you got to give up a pretty penny to get him, because Jim Irsay just came down so hard as far as we're not just letting this guy walk out of here. So now if we go get him, we're going to pay a premium. And then once we get him, now we're in the same contract dispute that Indy was in. And so now we got to double up and pay him as well. And so I think that's why I think in the grand scheme, I don't think Jim Irsay, if his goal was to just trap Jonathan Taylor in that Indianapolis Colts room, then I think that is still there, because the likelihood or chance of Jonathan Taylor securing a viable trade, one that they would accept, and then with a team that's also going to pay him, the chances of that happening, especially at this time, are so slim that realistically, I don't even think that's a viable outcome. So realistically, I think Jim Irsay found a way to say a lot of words without doing or moving anything. So I'd be very surprised to see if they bear any fruit from him seeking for that trade. But
gotcha. I kind of do believe there's going to be some teams that are kind of interested in him, and the reason why is because there was a couple of teams that was out there still looking at Dalvin Cook, looking at Kareem Hunt, looking at those guys. So now you instead of looking at seriously signing some of those guys, if you start to look and say, all right, well, now we got premium talent out there. We got a young gun who's we know what he's capable of. Maybe we go out here and kick these, not necessarily kick the tires because he's not getting old, but maybe we can get it come out even better in this deal. and the teams that come to mind is a team like Miami Dolphins, in which I believe they have already inquired and have been talking in talks with the coach. Nothing's happened yet, of course, but I think that could be a prime spot for Jonathan Taylor, and even a team like the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings is another team that recently had, of course, they lost Dalvin Cook, but they recently had Kareem Hunt, go and visit them. Kareem Hunt also took some time to went over and visit New Orleans. Now, I don't know if New Orleans is going to be that spot for Jonathan Taylor, but I mean, those are just a few teams that were out there looking for running back talent, in the market. I think it's a possibility that they, may think about bringing Jonathan Taylor over if they think he's that big of a he can make that big of a difference.
Okay, no, I see. I see what you're saying, and well, the only thing I would say is I think the two teams that did sign quarterbacks, they probably were the two teams, I guess, in that had the most dire need for a player. But then also, let's keep in mind, Jonathan Taylor's not holding out because he wants, $7 million guaranteed this year. You know what I mean? With a chance to make 8.6, because that's the deal, the top deal that was on the market this year, or from these guys was Dalvin Cook, and that's the deal he signed. And it's a 1 year Super Bowl run deal. So I think if you trade for Jonathan Taylor, like I said, I think he's got this year and next year on his deal. He's still got the 5th-year option, but he's pushing to get re-signed in that 3rd year. So that's why I think it's a little different. And then also with the Dolphins, I think their issue, one of the issues why they couldn't land out because they couldn't afford it. And so, like, if being able to pony up, I guess, enough cash is a hindrance to getting them, then I don't know if, unless he just wants to go to Miami. But then at the same time, Miami is still have to give up the trade capital to make it enticing for Jim Irsay to leave and let him go. And so, I mean, I would love to see him in Miami for sure, like we're saying. But man, I don't know if, just like I said, the timing and then everything else, because like I say, that trade's going to come with a contract. Because if you trade him and you don't give him any more money, because he said he's not trying to. This year he was slated to make just over $4 million. He said he's not. He told Jim Irsay, I'm not playing running back in this coach uniform for $4 million. So whoever trades him still has to deal with that, because if that's his position, then I'm still not playing for $4 million over here in Miami. Somebody got to break some bread, and so the money is still going to be a hindrance wherever he goes. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know, man. With all the moves that the Dolphins have made and everything that's going on there, the pieces they brought in, the draft capital wise and money wise, man, I don't know if they can get there. I don't know.
Absolutely. All valid points, Willie Jack. All valid points.
And
And last bit of news. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad, Chop. Also, just real quick, and I just kind of told you, I want to make everybody know I'm having an issue with my chat in the stream. And so, man, y'all know I love reading y'all comments and putting them on the board, man, and shouting y'all out and replying. But I'm trying to figure out what's going on with that. So just heads up, I do have the YouTube pulled up as well, and I can see there is some chats in the on the YouTube page. So I'll do my best to try to keep my eye on that as well and shout some of y'all out. But just want to give y'all a heads up, man. That if I'm not as responsive as we generally are, then yes, that's what it is. What's going on, man? I'm having some issues here.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to help you too with that, Willie Jack. Maybe I'll put a couple comments up there, ones that's speaking about the subject and so on and so forth. That way we can actually talk about them together too.
Gotcha.
So I'll try to help you with that.
Appreciate
But yeah, moving on to our last bit of news. Our last bit of news for today, man, and some sad news. Cornerback of the Tennessee Titans, Caleb Farley, man. Caleb Farley, a highly talented prospect out of Virginia Tech a couple years ago, man. He had an explosion at his house, man. Had an explosion at his house. Unfortunately, lost his dad in the explosion. And it's just sad news in the NFL world. It feels like we just talked about some sad news last week with Alex Collins, and now, with this, occurring to Caleb Farley's dad, man, it's just some more sad news. They say that, it was a gas buildup in the house, and it built up so much until it, pretty much reached a source where it can ignite. And once it ignited, that's what caused the explosion, man. So definitely condolences to the Caleb Farley or the Farley family, for the loss of, a father, probably a brother, a son, and just, sending our condolences that way.
No, for sure. And just like Chop was saying, man, this is terribly sad news. And especially for lack of a better word, such a freak accident, so to say. Like I said, man, it's a gas leak that's been going on for, who knows how long, but going on unchecked. And then, like I said, all it needs at that point is something to ignite it, some type of spark. I don't know. It could have been somebody lighting a cigarette, or it could have been a spark on the stove. I mean, it could have been just about anything at that point. And then, the tragedy happened. So super sad news, and condolences to his family, friends, and anyone touched or affected by that incident for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. And we got a couple more comments in here, man. Willie Jack, it's about that time, man. Go ahead and do a roll call for you, man. Film fam check in. Who's in here? Film fam check in with us, man. Who in here right now, Willie Jack?
Because I can't tell you my
You can't
chat.
tell me? Okay, well
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you like this.
yeah, I don't have any. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, Cashola Beats. Who is Cashola Beats, man? They gotta talk to
Oh
us.
man, hey, that's my dog, man. My dog. Hey, that's my dog, Fee, man. Down Jerome, man, down there in Atlanta, man. What's going on, man? He and they talking crazy with this
Yeah,
Ravens.
you see it on the board. He talking about the Ravens, man. What's up? That's
Yeah,
hey,
man.
he
Hey,
talking
that's
about
my
the Ravens.
dog, man. Appreciate
Then
you.
we got Sis in the building. Sis said she in the weekly pickle, man. She said put her in, you know what I'm saying, and it's going down. Sis in the building. And then mom's in the building too, man. You know she's always a person.
Oh yeah, already. Hey,
So
appreciate y'all.
you know how she rocking, man. You know how that goes. So that's what we got in the building so far. And if you in here, man, and you ain't said nothing, check in with your boys, man. Tap in, you know, so we can shout you out and we can know who we talking to, you know, as we continue to go through the show today, man. All right. Now, on to what we came here to talk about, Willie Jack. And that was two things. We got some bold predictions, but then we also got some award predictions. And first, we're gonna jump into some of these award predictions going into 2023, man. I'm talking about MVPs, Offensive Player of the Years, and so on and so forth. Y'all know how the award predictions go, man. So me and Willie Jack, you know, we're gonna call him out. Willie Jack gonna try. He gonna try to put his best foot forward. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna let y'all know who's gonna be winning these awards. You know what I mean? And you know what, Willie Jack? I'm gonna kick it off. I'm gonna kick it off, and we're gonna kick it off with the Coach of the Year. All right. So my Coach of the Year, or who's going to be the Coach of the Year? Let me just go ahead and say that.
Come on with
it's going to be Doug Peterson, man.
Ooh.
Doug Peterson is my vote for Coach of the Year, and I think it's for a few reasons, man. He's going to have a lot of help around him. First and foremost, what he's done thus far. I talked a little bit about this last week in terms of how he's. I'm not going to say he's turned Trevor Lawrence, because I think Trevor Lawrence, he has the capability and the talent to where he probably was going to get better his second year anyway. But at the same time, you still can't ignore the fact that the guy he doubled his passing touchdowns, you know, when Doug Peterson came over, and then also cut his interceptions in half. Mm-hmm. Trevor Lawrence in the last 9 games of the season looked like a top 5 quarterback in this league. And I feel like he is primed and in a position to continue that trend and start this season off real hot and playing some good ball. Not only that, he also has added another weapon in Calvin Ridley, who's, I don't know if a lot of y'all have been looking, man, who's looking really good in the camp. Now it's camp, you know, so we've seen a lot of players look camp.
Now he's looking great.
I've been burned in camp. I saw what's my guy name? That plays with y'all now. Plays with y'all, receiver for y'all now.
Allen Robinson.
We heard stories about how great he was looking all camp this past year, and then when the season started, I don't know what happened. They couldn't find him. They couldn't connect. Like it just wasn't all there. So
don't worry. Hey, we'll show you how to fix that. Don't even worry about it. Hey, we'll show you how to fix that.
Oh, we're gonna see. but yeah, man. I think Doug Peterson is set up to be the Coach of the Year going into this 2023 season, man. He has all those weapons around him. He's going to continue to be creative on the offense, and he just, like I said, he has another shiny toy. He also still has a 2-headed backfield now with Travis Etienne. And I think what's the guy, Tony? I think it's Bigsby or something like that. He's looking like he's going to get a lot of the goal line work. So they're going to have that 2-headed monster there. But him paired with Trevor Lawrence, man, could be something where they could last for a long time. And I think they really emerge and take over this division this particular year. And we're going to see Doug Peterson come out on top, man, as the Coach of the Year.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to lie, man. As y'all know, man, I'm definitely a big Doug Peterson fan for sure. And honestly, I don't hate that pick, especially if you expect them to take another step off of what they accomplished in this last year, his first year there with Trevor Lawrence. So I can see how you got there. It's not the right answer, but it's an answer. It's an okay answer. But no, like I said, man, I'm not too mad at that one at all, man. Not too mad at that one at all.
Come on. You come on back, man. Come on back.
Okay. Man, I ain't gonna take too much time, man. Without further ado, man, 2023 NFL Coach of the Year is going to be none other than.
Oh God.
Can y'all see me good? Can you see me good? It's Mike Tomlin, man. It's our year, man. We back, man. We back, baby. Mike Tomlin, this year's Coach of the Year. I'm telling y'all, I can't. I've been trying so hard to hold my excitement for this upcoming season, man. Y'all don't know what we got going on, man. Y'all don't know what we got going on, and that's good. When we come in there and hit y'all right upside the head, y'all look up. Yeah, man. Don't wonder how we got there. Mike Tomlin, Coach of the Year. I really like the last season for us was a tale of two seasons. So the first half of the season were what 2-7 or 1-7. It's all bad. Mitch Trubisky crapped the bed. Kenny Pickett's bust. We get to our bye week. Then on the other side of that bye week, we finished, I think, 7-1 or 8-1, whatever it took to get above 500. We finished 9-8. And honestly, we don't make the playoffs because we lose a tiebreaker, I think, to the Jets. That Jets-Dolphins game at the end of the year cost us a playoff spot. But we finished 9-8. And then here's the thing about it as well. So there's been a lot of publicity there's been a lot of, I guess, anticipation for the Detroit Lions this year because they finished so strong at 9-8. We're on the precipice of making the playoffs. There's a lot of love for Doug Peterson's Jacksonville Jaguars, who also made a big run. Now they did get into the playoffs, and then they had Jellyfish Justin give up 27-point lead in the game before they came back and won that. But they also finished 9-8. My Steelers also finished 9-8, and honestly, I don't know if I can't. We finished with that same record, but honestly, I don't think we were as talented as either of those two teams. And so now I think we come back this year. Kenny Pickett has looked phenomenal this whole offseason, this whole preseason, and even still building on what he did that second half of the year. We've added some pieces to some well-needed pieces to the offensive line, some other key pieces as well on the defense. And I'm telling you, I think we are here. We're destined to take a massive step this year, so much so that I think Coach Tomlin gets a Coach of the Year award for the turnaround that's about to happen. I'm going to say it one more time. The turnaround that's due to happen here shortly, man, once we get to this regular season.
All right, Willie Jack, and I'm not mad, man. I'm not bad. I'm never mad at a Mike Tomlin pick, man. Mike Tomlin is one of the best in the business. We talked about that this last episode, but I'm not sure. Now, I think the key in this is really going to be Kenny Pickett, in my opinion. What does he turn into? The player that the Steelers thought he was capable of becoming. Him being in the draft that he came out of, not being one of the. I mean, he was the best quarterback coming out of the draft. I would say
in a down quarterback year, though.
But in a down quarterback year, but I think it's fully capable. When we watched him, he had accuracy. He had a lot of the pro things that already in his skill set as a college player. So with him, if he can turn that corner and show that he can be one of a better quarterback in this league, if George Pickens turns into a true number one, then we may be talking. Because I think that defense is still pretty good. And the defense is not going nowhere. That's the one thing I can say about the Steelers for sure, that I think they're going to be coming and they're going to be ready to play. For our move, if he takes another step forward, like all those pieces, they look good. They look like they have their momentum going. And if they can do what you say, Willie Jack, then hey, I can see it. I ain't mad at it. But yeah, man, keep on coming with it, Willie. And actually, before we jump into that, we had a few comments. Hold on. I got you. First and foremost, my brother-in-law T done rolled in the building, man. Hey T, I don't appreciate that, man. My guy came in and say, hey, this is a bold prediction. And you're right. It's a bold prediction. You know what I'm saying? And just in case you ain't know, it's Jordan. You know what I'm saying? I've been a fan of Jordan. We know what it is. It's Jordan over LeBron. Jordan over. I ain't gonna even get into that because we
already know what's going on.
Night. Jessica Scott rolled in the building. Jessica Scott, how you doing? I appreciate you for tuning in, checking in.
Oh yeah, that's sis. That's my homeboy wife, man. That's sis. Appreciate you.
Well, sis, if Willie Jack say you sis, then you sis to me too. We appreciate you for tuning in, checking us out. You know what I'm saying? Rolling in the building, man. And anybody else that's rolled in, man, we got your peoples in here hard. He letting us know. No Vultures, the podcast rolled in too, man.
Say I know Brother Red ain't crept in here, man. What's going on with you? What's going on with you, gang? What's going on, man?
Gotcha, man. So they rolling in, Willie Jack. Hey, and like I said, we appreciate y'all for checking in, and definitely, man, talk to us, man, and we talk back. Willie Jack, why don't you go ahead and roll into your comeback player of the year, man? Let me know who's your comeback player of the year. You talked about your coach already. Let's go to comeback, man.
And I hate to have to do this with so many of these purple punks in the chat. My fault. So many of these Raven fans in the chat right now. But comeback comeback player of the year, man, I'm going with Lamar Jackson, man, quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. Honestly, and we talked about it last year as well. For the first 5-6 weeks of that season, man, I was calling him MVP Lamar again. He came out to a very hot start. Was very impressive and looked to be returning to that MVP form. MVP form. And then it's the same old formula happens. He gets a little banged up, ends up missing time, and then that season quickly falls away. But now, looking forward to this 2023 season, love the addition of OBJ, love the addition of Zay Flowers in the draft. You break over Todd Monken, offensive coordinator from the Georgia Bulldogs, to now revamp this Baltimore offense. And from everything we're being told, it's less Lamar leg intensive, and it's more about him getting the ball into the hands of all these playmakers. And so OBJ, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, the guy they found, the tight end they found in the 4th or 5th round last year, he looks to be a player already as well. And so with all these new weapons here, all the excitement around that bunch, and like I said, the only thing stopping Lamar Jackson from being a guy who's consistently in that MVP style of talk is if he's healthy enough to stay on the field. And so going into this with with the best possible outcomes, if Lamar Jackson's healthy with these weapons and anticipated that this new offense does click or take to, then I can anticipate Lamar having a massive year, man, and getting himself teed up for that comeback player of the year award.
Gotcha. Hey, Willie Jack, I ain't mad at that one either. That was a player that I actually thought about. I feel like he just set up for success this year. All the weapons they add around him, man, and just him knowing that system. I think they are set up to do something special this year. Now it's gonna be a tough division. They're gonna get beat up on. It's a lot of players, a lot of teams that know him very well, man. So that was the reason why I kind of tempered expectations, man. But I'm gonna go over to my comeback player of the year, man, in which this was I'm gonna stay with the same team. I'm gonna stay with the same team I started with. I'm staying in Jacksonville, man. My comeback player of the year is going to be none other than wide receiver Calvin Ridley, man. And it's for a lot of the reasons that I talked about in terms of the coach of the year. The situation is great. They've added a lot of offensive weapons, and he comes in, and I think he instantly becomes the true number one. He still has legs. He still has the wheels. He's still fast. One of the better route runners. That was one thing in Atlanta that he was just good at. He was good right out of college in terms of his route running, his ability to create separation. And I think that's going to be something that is going to be new for players to have to guard. And that's just another toy for Doug Peterson to play with. The last time Calvin really played pretty much a full season, he played 15 games. He finished with over 1,300 yards and 9 touchdowns. I think we're going to see even more of that. My dog Dave came in last week, man. He gave his ball. Hey. He came on fire. He said Calvin really with 1,500.
1,500 out the door.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I can see it with the situation that he's in, the players around him, the coach. Hey, the offensive mind. I can see Calvin really coming out, man. 1,500, 10 touchdowns. Man, he's gonna explode on that scene, and we're gonna be looking at it like, hey, that boy, that's a bad man. So Calvin really, man, is gonna be my comeback player of the year this year.
And I'll tell you, I looked at that one as well because, you know what I'm saying, that was one definitely for consideration as well, because also, like you're saying, I thought he has looked great in camp. And so, like, for everything that you can see, everything that you can read, he's looked great. And then also, like I said, man, the massive step forward we saw for Trevor Lawrence. And so now continuing that, now also Doug Peterson being the one in the kitchen, you know what I'm saying, putting it all together. So that does line up for a massive year. But also, man, guy has to play football in 2 years. And so, which means he hasn't been hit in 2 years. Not you know what I'm saying, not the way he's gonna be hit when the regular season starts. And so if he's able to come in and succeed, especially at the level that you and Scoop are talking about 1,500 yards, then I think he does himself great justice to get that award. But man, I think that's just a lot to put on a guy who hasn't played ball in 2 years, and then before he had to step away from the game for dealing with some mental issues. He was having a pretty rough start to that season before he stepped away. So he hasn't played good ball in probably 3 years. Because that year before when he had that massive year on the other side of Julio Jones. But like I said, at the same time, man, I'm not mad about that selection though as well. I definitely took a look, but man, just 2 years away from ball, man, it just feels like a lot to overcome. But yeah, not a bad pick at all. Not a bad pick. Hey, Brother Red, Brother Red didn't like my comeback player for Lamar, man. He called it low hanging fruit. I can't be mad at that, but at the same time, man, I gotta pick winners. It won't take much for Lamar. If Lamar stays healthy, then it won't take much for him to walk backwards and collect that trophy walking backwards, man. But you got to give me one now. If you don't like my answer, Brother Red, now you got to give me one, big dog. I need it in the chat, man.
For sure, for sure. We got a few comments in here, man. Uh, uh, T came in. He say really has a lot of hype around him. Can he live up to it? And that's the thing, man. That's the thing, and that's why I talked about it initially. Is like it is training camp because, like we said, Allen Robinson, he had a lot of training camp, hype, and we see players like that every year that have a lot of training camp hype. But
Romeo
he's
Dobbs
one guy
last year. Hey, you was hard on Romeo Dobbs last year from training camp reports.
Yeah, from preseason, yes, I was on Romeo Dobbs. I did like him. You know what I'm saying? He was solid. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't one of those guys where I felt like, all right, this guy could crazy season. Like I think one of my bold predictions was Allen Robinson was gonna get like 1,300, 10 touchdowns, something like that, man. So I had Allen Robinson going crazy, man. So it's a couple of those that are out there, man. A couple of those out here. But let's keep on moving, Willie Jack. Let's go to the next award, man. Let's go to the offensive rookies of the year, man. And there's a lot of guys out there, you know, that come into mind. But here's my guy right here, Mr. Bijan Robinson. All right, running back for the Atlanta Falcons. All right. And here's the reason why. One, he comes into the league, with some of the best talent we've seen in a while. You know what I'm saying? Some best talent coming out of a draft from a running back since Saquon Barkley. We talked about that last week too. He also comes into a situation usually where it's not a lot of pieces. Everything is not set up for him to be successful. He is going to be running instantly behind one of the better offensive lines in the league. Okay, so he has that going for him. Then on top of that, his pass catching ability, his route running ability, his ability to make plays out of the backfield and not just getting carries, the ability to catch the ball out. I think that's going to open up doors for him. And then it's not like he's just the only one there. I think Drake London has showed some promise. Kyle Pitts, even though he had a down year this past year, he still had 1,000 yards his rookie year as a tight end. You know what I mean? And then, of course, we got to see what Desmond Ridder, what Desmond Ridder turns into. But I ultimately think things are going to be set up really nice for Bijan. And I think this could easily be a 1,100 yard season for him if he stays healthy, and 15 plus total touchdowns. I'm talking about passing and running. I'm talking about I could see him having this type of season right away in the field, especially with his talent and just his overall ability. So as far as offensive rookie of the year goes, this is the guy I'm going with. I know there's a lot of guys. Actually, I don't think it's a lot of guys. There's a couple other guys out there that I really thought about. I got a feeling which route my dog Willie Jack is going to go with this one, but I'm going with Bijan Robinson as my rookie of the year, man.
No, I got you, man. I was trying to reply in the chat here, but I didn't get to it, so I'll just read it here. My dog, man, Cash Shuttle, man, he said offensive rookie of the year, man, he's looking for Anthony Richardson. And so I was going to tell him, man, like, I'm not mad at the pick. I think he'll definitely be exciting, and I think he'll have big moments. But on the totality of the season, especially if they don't have Jonathan Taylor as his backfield mate, I'm not sure. It's still going to be a numbers game as well. So he's still going to need some attractive stats or a handful of impressive wins or something to maybe get that award. And I don't know if they're going to have enough around him, and I don't know if he's going to be ready quite enough to put up the numbers he would need to get the award, especially with a guy like Bijan. And so, Brother Red, man, speaking to my dog, Brother Red's point on my last one, Bijan felt like the chalk answer, the low-hanging fruit. So, and I knew my dog Chop was going to take care of that for y'all. You see this? Big brain. So since that's already out there, I can let that breathe a little bit. I'm instead gonna go with JSN, man, Jackson Smith and Jibba, first round receiver, rookie receiver from the Seattle Seahawks. And honestly, I think he made by the end of the year, I think he's gonna be the number one receiver on that team as far as target share. Now I don't know raw numbers because he's gonna do a lot of his work in the short and intermediate and also working that slot. But I said it at the time he was drafted. I said it when he got there. He looks like 100 catches out the box all day long. Jackson Smith and Jigba looks like 100 catches, 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns, right there, right out the box. And so I think we go back to back with rookie receivers running away with that offensive rookie of the year award. And then also it doesn't hurt that. I mean, we'll get to this when the time comes, but I think the Seahawks have another good year this year. And so if they do perform well, especially with him maybe being one of the driving forces in that passing game now, a passing game that saw Geno Smith lead the league in accuracy and really air the ball out, I think he can have a massive year. And like I said, the team does what I think they'll do and plays well, then I think it lines up for JSN to maybe steal that award from a guy like Bijan. If like I said, if it doesn't work out for Bijan, then I think Jackson Smith is the guy.
Gotcha. Okay. Let me see what we got in here.
Oh, and real quick, man. Oh, you got it.
Yeah, I got you. Then then your boy, what's his name again, man? I don't want to keep calling him Cashola Beats, man.
That's my dog Fee, man. Call him Fee. That's my brother.
Fee. All right, Fee. I got you now, Fee. Fee come in. He come in hot, man. He goes with Detroit Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs, a running back, man, out of Alabama. He goes with him as
his year. I like that pick. I like that.
So with that one, I'm not mad at that one either. The only thing with this particular pick is I don't think he's gonna see the volume. I don't think he's gonna see the volume that like a guy like Bijan Robinson gonna see. I think Bijan Robinson is probably gonna touch the ball over 300 times his rookie year. I can see Jahmyr Gibbs being the guy where he doesn't necessarily touch it. Now I think he's gonna be explosive for sure. You know, similar to the ways that we've seen DeAndre Swift be used in this offense. Jahmyr Gibbs is gonna be used in those same ways. I just don't think he's going to see the ball as much as Bijan. You know, so when we look at it at the end of the season, Jahmyr Gibbs may have, 250, 220 carries for 900,000 yards. With 50.
That boy got to be good for about 60 catches though, Chop.
That's what I said. He might have about 50, 60 catches. Something like that with a few touchdowns as well. But like I said, Bijan Robinson is probably going to get the same amount of catches over there where he's at, but he's also going to run the ball 300 times. So they both running behind good offensive lines, but I just think Bijan Robinson is built for just that down in, down out, 3-down running back. So when we look at it in its totality, we're going to come back and say, all right, Bijan deserves this one, as more of the workhorse back, on both ends versus Jahmyr Gibbs. But I do like that pick though, for sure.
No, for sure. And I'm checking in the chat, man. It looks like brother-in-law, man. T also agrees with that pick as well, man. He likes that Gibbs. Okay, you found it. There we go. Yep. He likes that Gibbs plays as well in that offensive.
I got you, Willie Jack. I got you, big dog. I got you. Just roll with me. You hear me? Just roll with me.
I appreciate you, big dog.
Perfect. All right, Willie Jack. Well, come on back, man. We did the offensive rookie of the year, so I got a feeling who you're gonna pick here. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna see. Who is your defensive rookie of the year, man, for 2023?
Defensive rookie of the year, man, and the steal of this draft. I'm gonna say he's the steal of the draft, and the man still went top 10. Don't matter because he ain't go number 1 and he should.
You see him there? Yeah, I already know who you gonna pick.
Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter is set to wreck this league, bro. Not only it wouldn't matter where he went. I don't know why he's not in Chicago. They really tricked that off. I think I love Darnell Wright. I would love to see that fit, but it doesn't matter, man. Y'all let him fall to Philly. Harry Roseman, I don't know who he paid for them 4 or 5 picks ahead of him that let Jalen Carter fall to him, but he gets him at 10. And honestly, I think this is a guy that can have an immediate. I'm talking about the type of impact and production we saw this year from, let's say, Quentin Williams, and who was another guy I absolutely loved coming out. And so I think he can hit the ground running and have that style of impact. And also because of that defense around him is also very stout. And so it was already a stout unit, and now you add a guy with this type of talent and this type of immediate impact that I'm imagining, and also for a team that last year, one of the things I said about them, the most dominant team in football all year long, until they get to, and like I said, all year long, the most dominant team from start to finish. And honestly, I imagine a lot more of the same for that team. And so we've got a team that's poised to be at or near the top of this league, and then you're going to have a player that's going to be at the heart of that defense. And I think that defense is going to, with everything around him and with the position he's going to play, he's going to supplant Fletcher Cox, or if they let Fletcher Cox start, he's going to start next to him and jump his buddy Jordan Davis. But he's going to start, and he's going to make problems, he's going to make waves, and he's going to be an issue for anybody lined up across from him. Jalen Carter as your defensive rookie of the year, for sure.
Gotcha. And Willie Jack, I'm not mad at that one. And see, right back at you. I knew Willie Jack was going to come with the chalk pick. Another chalk pick.
Hey, I knew you was gonna be that, and you knew that one too. Hey, I like
it. Hey, I'm coming right back at you, Willie Jack. I ain't mad at you, man. I ain't mad at you. So I knew you was gonna come with that one. So look, I'm gonna go off the path a little bit. I'm gonna go off the path with my first and foremost to follow up on that Jalen Carter pick. I do think he's one of the guys that's capable of being Pro Bowl instantly. You know what I'm saying? Being at the end of this season, we might say, "Oh man, he's a top 7, top 6 defensive tackle in this league." You know,
he's gonna jump a lot of boys this year, man.
No,
he's gonna be the Sauce Gardner of defensive tackles. I'm imagining something like that. Like, I don't know if he goes all the way to the top, but he's gonna be a monster.
Absolutely. So I can see that. I can definitely see that, and I ain't mad at the pick. But like I said, I'm gonna go off the path a little bit, Willie Jack. I'm gonna switch it up. I'm gonna go a different direction, man. So just follow me for a second. I'm gonna go over to Washington. And I'm gonna go cornerback, Emmanuel Forbes. Okay,
Ooh.
Emmanuel Forbes. Now, let me tell y'all something a little bit about. Let me tell y'all a little bit about Emmanuel Forbes, man. 6'1", okay, only 166 pounds, okay. But I'm gonna tell you the thing that's gonna get him the defensive player of the year. The fact that he's a ball hawk. He's feisty. He has what we call that dog in him in terms of, hey man, he gonna get in your face. He gonna do whatever he needs to do. But when you talk about a player that plays with some of the best instincts, some of the best footwork, he's fast, he's quick, you know what I'm saying, and just a ball hawk, and when the ball is in the air, it's only a few cornerbacks in the league where when the ball is in the air, they don't feel like it's yours, they feel like it's theirs. Emmanuel Forbes is one of those guys. And if you ain't heard of him, if you ain't deep into the draft, if you ain't get, you ain't really touched on a lot of these different guys that's coming in, Emmanuel Forbes is one of those guys. It's tough. If he was 6'1", 205 instead of 166, he could have been the first quarterback coming out of this draft this past year. So keep an eye on Washington's Emmanuel Forbes playing cornerback, man, playing some feisty ball, and I think he could come out and be the defensive rookie of the year. Now, this one is a little bit of a long shot, but at the same time, man, I'm banking on it. It's maybe a little bold too, but hey, watch that boy play and watch how he get after that ball, man. If you ain't heard of him, keep an eye on Emmanuel Forbes over in Washington, man.
No, and honestly, now this one I didn't see this one coming as well. Honestly, because just like you said, for one thing, it's a tough award for a cornerback to win, just because the corner position, the only gaudy stat that a corner really has is going to be interceptions, unless of course it's just a Sauce Gardner type year where everything is just completely blanketed. But barring something like that, then man, he's gonna have to put up some interception on it. He's gonna have to get somewhere around more than 5. He's gonna have to get somewhere 6, 7, something like that. Because I think it's easier. It's easier for players to get. I think 12 rookie sacks. I think maybe goes further than 3 rookie interceptions. You know what I'm saying? Which is probably it's more. It's easier to reach maybe 12 sacks as a rookie, maybe so than it is to reach 5 interceptions. But yeah, that's a tough one to pick. But I do agree with everything you said. I like to come out of Mississippi State, but yeah, man, the boy was about as wide as a sheet of paper. 6'1", 165 pounds going to the league. But to your point, if he's 190, which isn't a far stretch, if he gained 30 pounds, then the good thing is he still went in the first. So he went pick 16, but it was a big surprise or a big shot. But if he's 190, he's 30 pounds, then that was a great pick. He may even have failed a little bit on a lot of people's boards if he had to wait. But yeah, man, you know what, man? That sounds, now that I think about 6'1" corners, about $155 soaking wet, it starts to tickle my memory, Chop. That remind you of anybody you might have me of somebody I used to play with. Hey, I remember a guy we used to call him Beanpole. Hey, my dog was a little slight frame as well, man.
Hey, man, it took me a while to put on a little bit of this weight, man. Put a little while, put on some of this. You know what I'm saying? I had to work hard for this, man. Had to work hard, dog.
Oh, he looked like a strong safety now, but no, don't be confused. Don't be confused.
Hey, that boy was 170, boy, 168.
Yeah, man.
6'4", 168. Hey, Willie Jack, we had a couple comments in here, man. I'm gonna run past. So somebody, they was talking about offensive rookie of the years, and defensive rookie of the years. One of the names that's been talked about in the chat is CJ Stroud, man. What's your thoughts on CJ Stroud? Maybe how he looks in the preseason so far, and what you think about his season this year.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking to my dog Fee, man, because he had mentioned him as well. One of the guys mentioned him, and I don't know, man. It's been a rough preseason for CJ Stroud, and so me and Chop both were. I think we had him both as our consistent number 2 quarterback behind Bryce Young, and I think both of us. I anticipate him doing well. I want him to do well, honestly. But man, I'm not gonna lie. That first playoff game, I think he may have only played 6 snaps, and there were 6 of his ugliest snaps you may have seen, including a bad interception. I think another pass that probably should have been intercepted. This last week in his second preseason game, he played a little longer. He still started out pretty rough and pretty slow. And I want to say I think he played 4 series. I want to say either that second or third series he made some throws or some impressive stuff in there, but it's coming along a little slower than probably we would hope if we're thinking as far as him being offensive rookie of the year. And that's I think what I was talking about in the chat as well. The way it's starting or going right now, it may take a little longer before it comes together, but that's not necessarily a bad thing in his overall growth and development. So I don't think it's necessarily cause for concern, but it doesn't necessarily look like he's going to hit the ground running right out the gate week 1.
Gotcha. And then one more comment, then we keep on pushing, Willie Jack.
Sure.
I want to touch on Brother Red's comment, man. He says nobody's talking about everybody's All-American, man. Will Anderson staying over there in Houston, man.
Oh, who's that? Oh, the 4th best edge rusher in this draft? Yeah, man. You might be talking to the wrong guy, man. Now, in all seriousness, he did have a highlight play. I want to say in that. I don't know if this is the first or second. I want to say they played the Dolphins. He gets to the backfield, blows up the running back. I don't know who it was that got cut, and then he hits the quarterback. So I don't know who that running back was, but it was a very impressive play that he had made. Showed good burst, and then also that's a more difficult play than it looks like. Because you fire off, you're going so far, you blow through a dude, and then still have your bearing and your balance to then find the quarterback and then get him on the ground as well. So that was a very impressive play, honestly. And honestly, if he's going to make plays like that, especially in this D'Amico Ryans version of this 49ers defense, where, like I said, he's going to beat their Nick Bosa. So if he's going to make plays like that, and then, like I said, we see him use the way that we've seen Nick Bosa use, it could be a big year for him, honestly. And so if Chop were to say, let's say if he went with Will Anderson, based on kind of what we've seen in the preseason and how we anticipate he'll be used, I don't think necessarily it's been a bad choice. But him coming into the draft process just wasn't necessarily my cup of tea. But he has shown well in flashes in this preseason, though, for sure.
Gotcha. All right, Willie Jack. All right, well, let's start moving on to some of the big dogs, man. Some of the big dogs, some of the guys that may be a little bit more established in the NFL right now. Let's talk about the offensive player of the year, man. And my guy, I'm going with this particular year. I'm going with Cincinnati Bengals, Ja'Marr Chase, man. Ja'Marr Chase is going to be this year's offensive player of the year, and let me tell you why. First and foremost, the Bengals, the situation that they're in and the way that they have been orchestrating this team is they become a team that, hey, man, Joe Burrow's our guy. We're going to rely on Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow going to throw this ball a bunch of times. And if they throwing that ball a bunch of times, you best believe Ja'Marr Chase is going to get his fair share of targets. Even just last year, he got injured. He only played 12 games, had 87 catches, over 1,000 yards, and 9 touchdowns, okay? He missed 5 games. Ja'Marr Chase playing a full season this year, man. You watch out, man. This could be a 1,600-yard season, 1,700-yard season. We talking about he's 15 to 18 touchdowns. I'm talking big numbers, man. I'm talking about the guys going to come out there balling and doing what he does. And he's one of those guys, and we talk about this all the time too, is that Ja'Marr Chase and his style of play, he's only 6 foot, maybe barely 6'1", but plays like he's 6'4", 6'5". You know, so he jumps – His elevator goes to a different floor, as my dog Willie Jacks likes to say. You know what I'm saying? He can go up and get it. He's a very underrated route runner. I think he's very deceptive with his routes in terms of, you know, being able to create separation in certain instances. And I just think he's just one of those receivers, man, one of those guys. And I think he's gonna, you know, submit himself in there with, hey man, I'm still a top guy in this league, which I think most people still feel that way about him, you know, even with him missing those games. But he's gonna come out and say, "Hey, I'm the offensive player of the year." Justin Jefferson got him 1. Hey, I was the number 1 receiver at LSU, not Justin Jefferson. So I think Ja'Marr Chase is gonna come into the season, man. He's gonna have a huge year. We know they leaning on Joe Burrow, leaning on that passing attack. Joe Mixon took a pay cut. They like, hey man, we're gonna give you the ball. You know, you're gonna touch it a few times, but our main thing is passing, and we going to these 3 guys that we got on here on the outside. So Ja'Marr Chase is my pick for offensive player of the year, man.
I don't hate that pick. I don't hate that pick at all. Now I'll warn you. I can't say nothing about that pick because I say if he's healthy and Joe Burrow's healthy now, kind of to your point, what you were saying earlier, we know Joe got nicked up in training camp a little earlier, but at the time our reports were that he was going to be completely fine and ready to go week 1. So anticipate there's no lingering issue there, and then him and Ja'Marr Chase are both healthy. Then yeah, man, it doesn't. There's no reason that numbers like 1,500 yards and 90 catches for 1,500 yards and 12 touchdowns. So those numbers are definitely within their wheelhouse, and I think those are the type of numbers are somewhere in that mix. 1,500 yards or so in that mix is what'll get a receiver, into that conversation for offensive player of the year. And so, no, I'm not mad at that at all.
But I
Now,
ain't say 15. But I ain't say 1,500. I said 16 to 1,700. Watch what I
see,
say.
you forgot they play the Steelers twice a year. So in those games, he's gonna take a hit. See, that's the only thing about it. See, twice a year he's gonna take a hit, and then the rest of them games, though, he's gonna get off. That's what you ain't do the math right. That's what it was.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Joey Porter better be ready. I tell you that.
No, I don't know if he's ready just yet. I don't know if he's ready just yet, but he gonna get there. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, Chop. I went a little off the beaten path for this one. Same position, but I went with a different player. And
I know who you went with. I know who you went with.
And honestly, it's not even the best receiver in football. It's definitely not that guy. definitely not him. Whoever that guy is definitely not that guy. It's also not the very best receiver in football. You know what I'm saying?
Also, it's not Devontae Adams. It's not Devontae Adams. Not Cooper Kupp. Okay, go ahead.
Who? Who are those guys? You're talking about yesterday. I'm talking about tomorrow. And tomorrow, in 2023, your offensive player of the year is going to be Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson. Yeah, you didn't see that. Garrett Wilson, offensive player of the year. Now, I'm not going to lie. I think that Wilson and Aaron Rodgers are going to be a match made in heaven. All the reports coming out of camp, they're getting rave reviews anytime they do anything together. So every pass is a perfect pass. Every catch is an outstanding catch. But this is a guy with the type of speed we saw. The type of I think already I like his route running. I really like his body. I like his body control. I like his ball tracking. And he's got a guy in Aaron Rodgers and A. Ron himself. If A. Ron can't do nothing else, A. Ron will put the ball anywhere he wants to on a 100-yard field that's 57.5 yards wide. There is no place at all that Aaron Rodgers can't touch the football on anybody's football field. And now he's got a young guy that may be, now hear me here, Chop, hear me now, who may be the most talented receiver that he's had. Now I'm saying talented, much different than not necessarily the most skilled, but talented. Devontae didn't have that type of speed. Jordy Nelson didn't have this type of speed. Greg Jennings, Donald Driver, these were technicians, but they weren't just freak athletes. Yeah. This is a guy with legitimate 4.3 speed, with a legitimate 35-inch or so vertical. He runs pretty good route. He's got acceleration. He's got stop and go acceleration as well. And like I said, I like his ball tracking. I like his body control. So I think all told, I don't know if Aaron has had a guy this talented. Just as far as raw talent goes. And then also for Garrett Wilson, he'll never play with a better quarterback. It doesn't matter who he plays with going forward. Hopefully he has a long career. He plays another 10, 12 years. He won't play with a better quarterback than the guy he's going to play with for maybe this next year, and if he's lucky, maybe these next two. Because when it's all said and done, Ron is he's in that upper room. You know what I mean? As far as what we've seen at the position, he's upper room, man. And so I don't know if he'll ever play with a quarterback this not only this talented, but this motivated. Because motivated Aaron Rodgers is another animal. Motivated Aaron Rodgers gives you an MVP after he had 3 boo-boo seasons and broke a collarbone and everything else. And then Aaron feels like somebody says something slick, and now I go out there, okay, now I'm back MVP because I forgot who I was. So now you got motivated Aaron Rodgers with a bright and shiny brand new Lamborghini in the driveway, and he's been driving in the snow in Green Bay. You feel me? So Aaron is ready to light this thing up. Guaranteed. Aaron is ready to light this thing up, and I think Garrett Wilson is the perfect storm for young talent, young ability, and a guy who was the offensive rookie of the year last year with Zach Wilson and Mike White throwing the ball. And so now he's got one of them ones, and so I think it's going to be a monster year for Garrett Wilson.
Gotcha. Hey, one thing I like, Willie Jack, you'll never get slack from me from being bold. You know what I'm saying? When you make a bold prediction, I'm always happy about those. So, hey, I want to see him.
I knew you weren't going to see that one. I knew you weren't going to see that one.
No, I wasn't going to see that one. The only thing that worries me about that pick, though, I will say, the only thing that worries me about that pick is the offensive line situation. And even with Aaron Rodgers and how good he's been, one thing that he has a tendency to do at times is hold the ball a little too long, and he won't throw many mistakes. He won't throw interceptions. So, if anything, it'll put him in position to where he's throwing the ball away a lot, taking a few sacks. So I don't know what that's going to look like. If they can get that together, then well, one, I definitely think he's going to improve as a receiver for sure, especially with Aaron Rodgers throwing to him. But with that offensive line situation, I'm not sure, what that's going to look like and as a whole. So we'll see what that turns into. Now, Willie Jack, you got to come back around, man. I see you checking out the chat a little bit, man. But
Yeah, my
you
fault.
got to come back around, man. We got to hit the defensive side of the ball, man. Who is your defensive player of the year, man, for 2023?
Yeah, man, and I hate that I feel like I won a little chalk here, and
Oh,
I feel like I did. I feel like I may have won a little chalk here, but I think now is the time. No secrets here, no surprises. I think this is the time that Michael Parsons takes over this defensive league. I think this is the year. So we've seen him come into this league as a rookie, go from stack backer to edge rusher. And have a remarkable year doing that. We saw him come back now in that second year, now more definitively playing on the edge and have a tremendous start to the season. Taper down just a little bit, but still finish with a phenomenal year. And now I think he's the unquestionable leader of that defense. And that's a defense that still has Tank Lawrence and some of those older kind of stalwarts. But I don't think that matters. I think this is clear cut. This is Michael Parsons' defense. And quiet as kept, man, this may be Michael Parsons' team. And I think if you've, and I don't know if you guys watch, any other, I'm sure you guys do, but I saw the interview that he did on the pivot with Ryan Clark and Fred Taylor and those guys. And I was very impressed. I feel like I saw a different side of Michael Parsons that I didn't realize was there. This is a very intentional and like determined guy, like determined for like greatness. You know what I mean? Like, and he's not and he's a guy that he's already talking about. He's holding guys accountable. I mean, so he said everything, all those buzzwords that I want to hear. He hit all those, man, and just seeing that this isn't the guy who had kind of a troublemaker reputation when he was coming out of Penn State for an issue that he had in his freshman year. But honestly, I still kind of thought that maybe he was that style of guy, that he seemed a little kind of goofy or playful in some of the outtakes and things that I've seen. And this was the first time I feel like I saw a different side of him. Like, nah, man, this is a full grown ass man who's ready and willing to go out here and wreck this league, and he knows exactly who and what he is, and he's ready for everybody else to see it as well. And so, man, I think he has a massive year, man. I don't even know what the number's going to look like. I don't necessarily know if it'll be one of those where I don't necessarily think he's going to like break the sack record or anything like that. But I think from top to bottom, I think that he's going to have a tremendous year. And like I say, it's a little chalk, but it was just hard. I had a hard time talking myself out of Michael Parsons, man. So I went ahead and gave him his flowers.
Gotcha. And to be honest with you, Willie, I'm with there. I'm there with you.
See, I figured, yeah. Man, your thunder.
It's funny. It's funny you bring up the pivot, man, because that was kind of what sold me too, man. It was like,
yeah, man, y'all can see it.
The intention on what the goal is and what he's coming to do, and him taking no prisoners, and him feeling like, look, man, we got with this. I don't care what nobody else doing. We are them. I'm him. We can be them, and I need y'all to follow my lead. You know what I'm saying? And matter of fact, I'm not gonna let y'all fall. It reminds me of the mentality of Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. It's like they demand greatness or demand a certain level of play from the guys that's gonna be on the field with them, and that's what he is bringing to the table this particular year. And so when you come out and you do those things, man, it reminds me. It lets me know, like, hey, you want greatness around you. That's what you want. And then you tie in the fact that quarterback's gonna have to hold the ball just maybe a half second longer, with those two cover guys on the outside. They're gonna be a little sticky. It ain't gonna be easy to find an open receiver against this defense. You add a half second or another second, with that in terms of that quarterback holding the ball. Ain't too many guys that can block Michael Parsons. And then you already hearing in against one of the better offensive lines in the league in Dallas Cowboys, you already hearing stories about the offense can't even have a practice. The Dallas Cowboys offense can't have a practice because can't nobody block number 11. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all coming in here, y'all can't block number 11, it's going to be a problem. And it sounds like it's going to be a problem all year long. So just like you, Willie Jack, I got Michael Parsons as my defensive player of the year. Willie Jack, sounds like you look like you're going through a few different comments, man. You got any of them you want to talk about?
Yeah, man. I was just going back through catching up. Brother-in-law, man, he was commenting on my take on C.J. Stroud, and he was thinking that the early struggles aren't necessarily indicative of future success.
Absolutely.
It's not uncommon for rookie quarterbacks to struggle. And so I was just replying back like, no, I agree completely, but just in the context of offensive rookie of the year, I don't think that I don't know if it's going to be necessarily as strong as it would need to be in the early going to maybe get that reward. But I definitely think going forward, man, I think he's got the goods. I love his accuracy at Ohio State. And I know people had knocked his processing, but I didn't have a problem with his processing either. I think maybe he just needs to. I think he was too structured and didn't move or use his athleticism in a way that could have been most beneficial to him when he was in college. But now this guy, I think he's got a bright future for sure.
Gotcha. Well, that leaves one spot left, Willie Jack. That leaves one award left, man. We went through Coach of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, Offensive and Defensive Rookies, Offensive and Defensive overall. Now that leaves MVP. Who is going to be this year's MVP? And if you've been watching this show, I ain't going to make him wait. I ain't going to make him wait. You know what I'm saying? If you've been watching this show, you know who your boy Chop been talking about, you know, this whole offseason in terms of who's going to win this year's MVP. And it's none other than your boy, J Herb, a.k.a. J Herbo, a.k.a. Justin Herbert, man. I don't know your middle name. I'm just going to give you one, Justin Allen Herbert. That's what it sounds like his middle name should be. Justin Herbert, man, is going to be 2023 Rookie of the Year, and I'm going to tell you why. First and foremost, the guy has been on the edge. He's been there. You know what I'm saying? He's got a bad taste in his mouth. Everybody, all he's been hearing all offseason is 27-3, 27-3, 27-3. How he gave up that lead. How it's his fault. How he's supposed to be the man on this team. All year, this has been in his ear. He had to live with this. He walked off the field with a sour taste in his mouth. And so now he's going to come back into the league and he's going to have a vengeance. He's going to be ready to ball. On top of that, he's bringing back most of his weapons. All the guys that were kind of hurt around him. Rashawn Slater is fully healthy. He's ready to go. They also add another toy on the outside in Quentin Johnson, who's been looking pretty good, by the way, in this training camp and in this preseason. He's going to be another option, but alongside Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, who are both, you know, pretty good receivers. And then you still got your boy Austin Eckler back. If none of those guys can get open, you know what I can always do? I can dump it down to my little hamster over here, and he's gonna give me some yards, give me some yak, and make me look good as well. So I think Justin Herbert is set up perfectly to not only have probably his best season that he's had thus far, to lead his team to win this division, but to shut all the haters up, man. Everybody that said he didn't deserve this money that he got, that he needed to prove something first, man, he's going to come out here and shut everybody up, and he's going to do it this year. Your 2023 NFL MVP award goes to J Herb, a.k.a. Justin Allen Herbert. 2023 MVP. That's what it is.
And you know what? I could have expected that Jellyfish Justin was going to be your MVP. Chop been telling me Justin Herbert is going to be the MVP for about 4 months now. So there was no surprise here. Yeah. You can't have a nickname like J Herb, because they're too hard. You can't give up 27 points in a playoff game and have a dope nickname. You know what I'm saying? He owed me 27 points before he can get anything from me other than Jellyfish Justin.
Don't worry, it's gonna be more than 27 on the board week 1. Don't even sweat it.
Hey, I'm waiting on it. But in seriousness, honestly, I can't argue that. I can't be mad at the choice as well, because now here's one thing as well. I'm curious to see what this offense looks like with Kellen Moore now being the architect of this offense, and so now bringing the things that he had done or did. Thing that he did with the Cowboys in Dallas and with Dak, and now bringing that over to the West Coast to see how Justin Herbert and him mesh and how that goes. So I am curious to see that. You've got Keenan Allen there, who it feels like he hasn't been healthy in quite a while, but assuming he's healthy now, he's still one of the premier route runners in this league. You've got Mike Williams. He's one of those guys that goes and gets it up the field. And then you draft Quentin Johnson, the big body shifty receiver from TCU in the first round as well. So they've got the weapons. You still got Austin Eckler, who's a little unhappy, but like I said, man, he's still the guy behind you, and we know he has a nose for the end zone. So this is a guy, he's led the league in touchdowns or been a part of the lead leads lead in touchdowns for 2 out of the last 3 years as well. So they've got all the pieces there. You just talked about Rashawn Slater in that offensive line. He's back healthy as well. So I see where you was going. You know what I'm saying? I see where you was going, but the problem is you think Justin Fish Herbert. I can't even say the man's name. Jellyfish Justin or Justin Herbert. You think Jellyfish Justin is Kobe? Nah. No, he ain't got that killer instinct. He ain't got that mom mentality. He ain't got that killer instinct. Because killers don't lose 27-point leads in the playoffs. But if he can fix that, man, that's been my knock against Justin Herbert his whole career. He's puts up the numbers. He's a front runner. The stats are always going to be phenomenal. His talent is phenomenal. His arm talent. He's athletic with his legs as well. But it feels like when the kitchen gets a little hot, he's the guy that has to lead the kitchen. And so that's the transition I need to see. Now, Chop may be right. This could be the year that that switch flips and that he does take that step and turn into that killer that he needs to be in these crunch time situations. And if that happens, then hey, the Chop knocked this out the park. Because 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards, that does I don't blink if you say that. If you told me Justin Herbert throws for 5,000 and throws for damn near 50 touchdowns, I'd be like, yeah, it's possible.
48. He gonna throw 48. I can see 48.
48?
Yeah.
Hey, but it's all possible and it's all likely. But does he do that on a team that goes 9-8 or 10?
I told you they win in the division. I told you that.
That's the only thing that worries me, man. But like I said, man, you can't question the talent. I am curious to see what that offense looks like with Kellen Moore now. But I love the pieces around him, and so they say, man, not a bad pick, not a bad pick at all.
Gotcha. And I put a comment up here. My dog Brooks in the building, man. Brooks, man, what's happening with you, dog? But my dog came through, man. He said he thinks golf is gonna put up better numbers. Now let me before we address that, let me let y'all know my dog is from Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So he is definitely a Detroit fan. So I just want to put that out there before y'all get in there and kill him, man. Don't kill my dog Brooks. But he says he thinks golf is gonna put up better numbers. I like golf, man. Golf had to me, I think he had his best season this past year, but I don't see him putting up J Herb numbers, you know what I'm saying? J Herbo numbers, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know about that one. Willie Jack,
I'm reading his comments now too, man. He said golf did 4,529 touchdowns last year, and that's more touchdowns than Herbert had. And you know what? And I don't have the raw numbers in front of me, man. I don't know if you were able to pull those up, but that's an interesting that's interesting, man, because last year it became apparent to me pretty early on. If the Detroit Lions don't do nothing else, they going for 30. You know what I'm saying? If they don't do nothing else, they can score points. And Jared Goff was a big part of that. Definitely had a phenomenal year and probably didn't get as much of the credit as he probably deserved for his performance and how he led that offense. I mean, the Lions for over half the season was the number one offense in the league for a good stretch of last season. And I think that's definitely a credit to Jared Goff. And so, man, I'm not going to lie. He's talking about putting Jared Goff in that MVP race, assuming they make a playoff run. And man, I don't know, man. It's still some heavy hitters, man. In that same. I mean, it had to truly be phenomenal. And you know what? Here's the thing as well. If Jared Goff does those same similar numbers, but they're still a team that maybe, like I said, that last year they were 9-8, 10-7, even maybe 11-6. I don't think that's enough to overtake a successful stat-driven year of Justin Herbert or a successful stat year from Patrick Mahomes, because like these are, I think Jared Goff would have to get. He had to get that Lions team into that 13-win range, into that number one seed contention. Then I think maybe he would warrant some style of MVP buzz. But because honestly, like I said, a lot of these awards are kind of everybody necessarily doesn't start here. You kind of start from where we left you. So if he was, let's say, considered somewhere near the middle or the bottom third of the pack of quarterbacks, and now he had this last year where now he's shown himself to be maybe at the top of that next tier, but he's still got a ways to go. And so he still starts from here. Justin Herbert's already showed us he's the top 5 guy. And so if both of them still perform well, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's still kind of, you still have to weight his performance unless it's something that's truly, like I said, unless they shock everybody, man. They come out here and they're continuing for that number one seed. They're rattling off 13 wins or so, and Jared Goff is still keeping pace with those type of numbers. But no, I'm not mad for holding it down for the home team as he should. Yeah,
right. Absolutely. So, all right, so Willie Jack, who you got then? Who is your MVP? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm making this real short and sweet for y'all, man. Justin Herbert in my mind now because Chop with that foolish.
No, because you really know who's gonna win the MVP. That's all. That's why you can't stop saying Justin. But go ahead. I'll let you go. I'll let you go.
Jalen Hurts for your 2023 NFL MVP. And so honestly, I look at the year they had last year, his growth, his progression, and honestly his Super Bowl performance. And man, I've said it 1,000 times. I'm not gonna stop saying it. He was the best quarterback on the field that Super Bowl. It wasn't even close to me. He was the best quarterback on the field. He did make maybe two of the most vital mistakes in that game as well. But he was still, the talent was there. And honestly, I like what they did with the pieces they made in that backfield, because they brought over Rashad Penny, who the last 2 years he's been healthy, he's averaged like 6.5 yards a carry when he was with the Seahawks, and when he just hadn't stayed healthy. Then you also bring over DeAndre Swift from the Lions as well. And now I don't know if you've seen some footage on Swift in his Eagles camps. Hey, but that boy out there giving boys the business.
That wasn't the problem with Swift. That wasn't Swift never had a problem with getting busy. His problem was just staying on the field, man. That's all.
No, and that's true. But see, that's the thing. So now with the committee that they've got, and then also we gotta always remember the master motivator. DeAndre Swift trying to get paid. He's on his second team within his, and he's toward the end of his rookie contract. And so there's no more motivation than keeping your mama's lights on. And so, like I said, man, I think he's definitely ready to go improve and make himself some money, especially in a running back market that's as stingy as it is. And so I think they filled that running back room with hungry dogs. No dog hunts like a hungry dog. You know what I'm saying? And they've got a backfield full of hungry dogs. And this is an offense as well that we already know with the RPO action and the threat of Jalen Hurts running and using his own legs as well. That I don't know if they'll have a single back touch 1,200 yards, but they'll have four backs touch 600. You know what I mean? So all these guys are going to be fresh. All these guys are going to be hungry. All these guys are chomping at the bit. And then as far as the rest of this offense, I don't see it tempering down at all. AJ Green is still here. Or excuse me. Damn, I can't talk. AJ Brown is still here. He's still the man, the myth, the legend on that outside. Returning now in his second tour of duty from the job he did last year on his revenge tour for getting traded at the draft. Devontae Smith is quietly, he's probably I almost feel like he's my new Terry McLaurin. Well, not to that extent. We know his name. He's a Heisman winner we got in. But he didn't necessarily hit the ground running like we've seen a lot of these young receivers do when they first hit the league. But quiet as kept, Devontae Smith is turning into a damn good receiver over there quietly. He's quietly a guy that needs more talk about being a 1B type of guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like the way we talk about Jalen Waddle and T. Higgins, like I think those two are the guys who come to mind first when we talk about like top of the line number twos or guys that could be one somewhere else. And Devontae Smith, man, is right there. Like I said, he's right there. He's a damn good route runner. He was that when he got into the league. He's got stronger now. He was another guy that was a little thin. He's got stronger. But all told, the weapons are still there. Everything is still in place. That defense, they've revamped and reloaded there. I still expect this team to continue the trend they did last year. I really think that this team is poised to have another dominant run, much like we saw last year. And I said this last year before Jalen Hurts got injured. That was an MVP year for Jalen Hurts last year. And then he gets injured right there in the heart of the race at the end of the year. And so he misses, 3 of the last 4 games or whatever the case. And so it is what it is. But assuming he stays healthy, I see no reason that this team doesn't pick up right where they left off. And if they come out now just as dominant as they were, or in that same ilk or in that same time frame, and now we have a more seasoned and a more veteran Jalen Hurts now a Jalen Hurts that there are no more bright lights. I've been to the top of the mountain now. I've been there. I was close and I was seconds from conquering that mountain. And so now this puts him in a very dangerous position for the rest of this league, man. I think Jalen Hurts comes out here and runs away, or maybe not runs away, but I think he goes ahead and submits his young Philly legacy, man, and wins an MVP.
Yeah, and the crazy part is he is you said he needs to solidify. People need to start giving him more respect as a 1B. He was 1B coming out in the draft, Willie Jack, and I don't know if you remember that, because he was coming out that Heisman season, and he came in the league same time Jamar Chase did. You know, so we both had them at the top, but it was like,
it's true.
Pick your poison. They both two of the top receivers coming out, and I still think he's one of the best. I mean, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. I mean, as one as a rookie, and then two as a legit number two receiver getting more targets than AJ Brown. I think he is. I think he's just still, like you said, Willie Jack, a little small. But yeah, man, I like everything that you said in regards to this. And of course, I can't get mad at the Jalen Hurts pick. So I'm with you there.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
Absolutely. So without further ado, man, we went through all the award predictions, man. We let y'all know who we thought was winning the awards. You know, we'll recap that for you really quick. Willie Jack, can you run through your awards real quick, man? Let me know who you had winning for each spot.
No, got you. MVP, Jalen Hurts. Quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. Offensive player of the year, Garrett Wilson. Receiver for the Jets. Defensive player of the year, Michael Parsons. Edge player from Dallas. Offensive rookie of the year, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Receiver for the Seahawks. Defensive rookie of the year, Jalen Carter. Defensive lineman for the Eagles. Coach of the year, Ice Mike Tomlin for my Pittsburgh Steelers. And comeback player of the year, Lamar Jackson from the Baltimore Ravens.
Absolutely. And run through mine, man. MVP, none other than Jay Herb, man, Justin Herbert. Defensive player of the year, I got Michael Parsons. Offensive player of the year, Jamar Chase. Defensive rookie of the year, Emmanuel Forbes, cornerback over in Washington. Offensive rookie of the year, Bijan Robinson. Comeback player of the year, Calvin Ridley. And coach of the year, Doug Peterson, man. And that's it for the first half of the show. We're going to be right back, y'all. We're going to be right back, and we coming in with these bold predictions, man. So stay tuned. This is where it gets spicy, man. We're going to talk about these bold predictions. This is where we jumping off the ledge, man. We jumping off the couch, Willie Jack. We jumping off the couch, man. Be back real soon.
Today's episode of Let the Film Speak, hosted by the wonderfully handsome and intelligent brothers of Let the Film Speak. That's Chop and your main man, Willie Jack. Yeah, feel me. Also brought to you by the three amigos. Y'all know them and you love them, man. That's the three amigos. That's like, that's share, that's subscribe. That's three the hard way. That's a three-piece spicy. You cannot go wrong. Now, I say the same thing every week, so y'all can say that at home with me. I know y'all ready for it. Here we go. It's three amigos, but it's four parts to this process, big dog. First, you just got to tap in. Like my dog said, man, come in, tap in. Just say what's up, man. Just holler. Hey, what's up, three amigos, man? Like, share, subscribe. Hey, Chop, man. Willie, man, what's going on, man? It's cool. I sit on the couch. For sure. Y'all got some cold to drink? Oh, man, my man. Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, man, I'm a Broncos fan. That's all you got to do. That's it. That's easy. And Chop, come in, sit down, get comfortable, get a cool adult beverage, and let us know who you ride with, big dog. Then tell a friend. Like, man, that's a nice feeling here, ain't it? Man, it's cool, man. My homeboy was out. He was down. Man, it's cool. I can tell a friend. Tell a friend, man. And you know what? Even better than that, you can tell your friend to tell a friend. Guess what? There's more. You can tell your friend to bring his partner to. Bring one more because we need four, man. Bring them up into the penthouse. Tap in with your dogs, man. Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. You know we don't wear no watches. We ain't got nowhere else to be but in here kicking football flavor with the fam. And now back to the regularly scheduled program.
All right. Yeah, buddy, and we back in it, man. Back in it. Like I said before we took a little bit of a break, man. We jumping into the bold predictions, man. Bold predictions. And Willie Jack, I'm gonna let you kick this one off this time, man. I kicked off the awards, man. I want you to come with your first one, man. I want to see how you jumping off the porch. I want to know how Willie Jack coming when it comes to these bold predictions, man. Give me your. We're gonna do 4 apiece. For everybody that's listening, we're gonna do 4 bold predictions apiece. We're gonna go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the bold predictions, and we're gonna go from there. So Willie Jack, what's your first bold prediction, man, going into the 2023?
And you know what, man? I got a couple few here to choose from. And you know what, man? I'll go ahead since I already kind of let the cat out the bag a little bit with this. I'll go ahead and let y'all know. Garrett Wilson will be the Triple Crown winner for receivers for 2023. So now what that means is
Triple Crown.
Garrett Wilson will lead all NFL receivers in receptions, in yards, and also in touchdowns. All 3. I don't know when the last time. I think the last Triple Crown guy might have been Steve Smith.
No. Let me remind you. Last Triple Crown guy played over in LA.
Cooper Kupp. Yeah. I've got about Cooper Kupp. Yeah. Before that, it was Steve Smith. Yeah, Cooper Kupp. But yeah, Garrett Wilson, man. I'm talking about, so I don't know if that looks like 120 catches, 1,800 yards, 17 touchdowns, something like that. But I really do think, man, that, as always, assuming everybody's healthy, etc., motivated A. Ryan got something to prove, man. And motivated AA Ryan is just as or more dangerous than just about any other quarterback in his league. Aaron Rodgers said he got something to prove today, and Gary Wilson will be the beneficiary of his angst against the rest of the league. So Aaron Rodgers is going to use Gary Wilson to prove his point, and I think the number's going to be big.
Gotcha. Hey, Willie Jack, in regards to this, I kind of like it. I do think that there's a possibility for him to lead the league in touchdowns and maybe even yards. I don't know if he'll be a reception guy like that. That's the one.
I thought about that as well. But I think Aaron's gonna feed him early and often, man. I'm not gonna lie. I think he's gonna be dropping on the way to the locker room, Chop. He's gonna drop the reception on the way to the locker room.
But we gonna see, cause there's a couple guys, man. Stafford still can't put the cup down, and over in Minnesota, man, they feeding Justin Jefferson. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Left and right, they feeding that boy across the board. But hey, I like it. It's bold predictions, baby. So I want to see you do that. Sure. So let me jump into my first one, man. I'm gonna go over to San Francisco with my first bold prediction, man. And as y'all probably know, your dog Chop was the first person to come and say, hey, man, these are weirdo machines. I don't care who playing quarterback, all right? And as the season went along, I started to see certain things from that quarterback in Brock Purdy where I felt like, hey, this guy might be a little bit more than that. It may not. I know Shanahan is cold with it, but this guy got a little something else. You know, he escaping pressure, you know, extending the play, finding open guys in the back. He's not making many mistakes. So the more I watched it, I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and make one of my bold predictions. Brock Purdy, he's throwing for at least 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. All right, we talking about Mr. Irrelevant. We talking about a guy who nobody even knew of before he took his first snap as a San Francisco 49er. His second year in the league, he's gonna prove and show everybody why he belongs here, why that's his job. Well, he doesn't care about Sam Darnold or Trey Lance or anybody else that's over there. And if y'all don't know, Willie Jack will know. I was one of the biggest advocates of Trey Lance, but I'm sorry, Trey. I'm sorry.
I tried to save him. He ain't gonna listen to me.
I should have listened to you, Willie Jack. I should have listened to you. And Trey, I apologize, sir, but you missed your opportunity. I mean, and that's just the way this league works. It's a business, man. It's a business, man. You suffered your injuries. You did what you needed. You did. It happened to you, you know. But when it happens, somebody gets another opportunity. And Brock Purdy got his opportunity. He took full advantage. This is going to be his job. He's going to show everybody why he belongs, and this is going to be the quarterback of the future for the San Francisco 49ers. He's going to prove it this year. Brock Purdy throws for over 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns this season and shows everybody it's not just Shanahan that we're going to start giving Brock Purdy some credit by the end of this year too.
You know what, Chop? Sometimes in the business, we call that there a segue. Because that leads me right into my next prediction.
Oh, Lord.
San Francisco 49ers do not make the playoffs in 2023. That pen was a microphone, Chop. You see, y'all see how that happens? Chop didn't even know he threw the hoop. Chop didn't even know he threw the hoop. See, Chop shot it and turned around because he thought it was good. He don't know it rolled on the rim, and I came through it. And then I put it back in. That's just happening right now.
You yammed that thing.
Hey, that's just happening right now. Right now, Chop on accident is running down the court like D Wade. He don't even know he just threw it up to LeBron. I just banged on Jason Terry. He don't even know that just happened. He didn't see it coming. San Francisco don't make the playoffs, big dog. And this is why I'm telling you.
Hey, dog, you didn't tell me why. Your
boy Brock Purdy. And so he's coming off injury, which is a pretty serious injury to the elbow. And then also, until I see otherwise, it still feels a little lighter than the bottle. And so now coming back from injury, right? And now being the guy from day one. This is what's I think to me is the biggest change. Because last year, when Mr. Irrelevant, the fourth string quarterback, comes into your stadium, tends to sneak up on you a little bit. Nobody has any film on him. Nobody watched them Iowa State tapes. Because if they did, he would have been the very last pick in the draft. Nobody knew who but he was. Oh, we know now. We know now. So now when you show up, Mr. Brock Purdy, you know what I'm saying? Now we know what you like to do. Because this is still a guy who, one thing I should say is what? To Chop's point, well-oiled machine. So I do think there's still going to be a baseline of success that quarterbacks are going to have just in that system, because that system has shown to be pretty much dummy proof for anybody behind center unless your name is Trey Lance. Outside of that, it's pretty much a dummy proof. It's pretty much a dummy proof offense. but like I said, man, I got to see that Brock Purdy's a guy. I can't call him a guy because he got to sneak up on us for 8 games last year. You know what I mean? And now we want to call him a dude. It don't work like that, bro. You ain't putting no work in around here, bro. You ain't putting no work in around here, Brock Purdy. And I need to see something, man. So he got to show me, Chop. He got to show me for 17. I need to see 17 weeks. And until I see it, until I do, I don't know if I want to give it to him yet, man. And also, man, and also another thing as well. I already kind of told you this before. I think those Seahawks got something cooking this year. I think maybe the Seahawks, this is the year the Seahawks retake that division. You've got a Cardinal team that's imploded. We watched it live on television. You've got a Rams team looking to regain past glory. We don't know what that's going to do. And then now you've got a San Francisco team hoping to recapture the excitement of an 8-game stretch with the very last player drafted in the 2022 draft. And that's just asking a lot. It's asking a lot for me, Chop. It's asking a lot, man. So I think it's only so much Kyle Shanahan can do, man, pulling the strings behind the cords and everything like this. I think there's only so much you can do. And there's going to be a point in this season where everybody sees Brock Purdy for what he is. Everybody sees and knows what he wants to do. And then now that we can stop this guy, what's he have then? That's what I need to see. So, yeah, man. That's where I'm going.
Okay. All right.
You like that? You like it? I know you like it.
You jump. Hey, you do. I just want to remind you do know Christian McCaffrey is a running back over there, right? You do know that. That's your.
He's cold. Yeah, no, he's still cold. You know what I'm saying? I try to tell you, if they'd have let Chris McCaffrey take them snaps in the NFC Championship game, Niners might have been in the Super Bowl. Y'all don't hear me though. Y'all, I know everybody in here to see Friday Night Lights. I was on my couch yelling, and he can pass. Give him the ball. Get him boy the rock. What we doing? But they ain't listen to me. I tried to call Shanahan, the phone was busy.
Well, Willie Jack, I see you jumping off the porch a little bit, man. I see you jumping off the porch. You know what I'm saying? A little bit, trying to talk a little bit about, some that. Now that's a bold one. That is real bold right there. I got to give you that one. That was a bold one. But let me go ahead and jump off too, man. And I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this is NFC North over here. The Green Bay Packers will win their division. All right, the Green Bay Packers will win their division. Okay. Now if y'all been paying, I keep saying this. Last week we just talked about we just ranked our top coaches. All right, and my dog Willie Jack had an issue with one of the coaches that I had on my list. Actually, in my number 10 spot. My number 10 coach going into the 2023 season was Matt LaFleur. Green Bay Packers, Matt LaFleur. But Willie Jack don't believe. Willie Jack don't believe. He don't. He don't think Matt LaFleur, got it going on. Willie Jack believes that Aaron Rodgers is the only one with a chip on his shoulder. You know who else got a chip on their shoulder? The Green Bay Packers. Because they coming out here to show everybody that, hey, man, we just wasn't – this team the identity of this team wasn't Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? We got those 13 wins, back-to-back seasons because we were a team, because our defense was solid, because we got guys like Rashawn Gary, Quay Walker, Devondre Campbell, Jerry Alexander. You know what I'm saying? They had guys on that offense like, David Bakhtiari, A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones, you know what I'm saying? Those type of guys, a lot of those core guys. That offensive line is going to be better. And Jordan Love, even though a lot of that team it was ran by Aaron Rodgers on there in terms of the quarterback of that offense. Jordan Love had the privilege to sit. The same recipe that Aaron Rodgers had to sit through. Jordan Love had to go through. I'm not saying Jordan Love is going to be Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying he's going to be Brett Favre or any of that. But I'm saying that I think Jordan Love is going to be a little bit better. And I think the team around Jordan Love is orchestrated a little bit better. The Minnesota Vikings, yeah, we know they can do some things and put up some numbers on offense, but their defense can't stop a lick. We don't even know who the defensive backs are over in Minnesota. Don't worry, I'll wait. Nobody even knows. So that's that. The Chicago Bears, yeah, y'all added a couple things. But Justin Fields still has to prove that he can actually pass. We know you can run, but we see what the run got you. They got you 3 wins last year. You ran for over 1,000 yards throughout the season. They got you 3 wins. You got your weapon on the outside. What you going to do with it? Show us that you can pass. And even if you can pass, we got some defensive backs and some guys over here that's going to be all up in your pocket. We saw what Jair Alexander could do to some top receivers in the league. I mean, he didn't do it to the best receiver in the league, but he did it to a guy that was one of the best. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, man, the Green Bay Packers they are the best team in this division, well-rounded. If you look outside of their quarterback position, we don't know what Jordan Love is, but we're gonna see this year. We're gonna see Matt LaFleur have his hand in on his offense, in on his team. And the Green Bay Packers, man, they coming away with the win in this division in 2023.
Chop. I absolutely hate to tell you this. I also picked Green Bay to win the division, bro. That was also
It's a bold
I
prediction.
swear to God, bro. I promise you, bro. I promise you, bro.
It's right there, huh?
And in my mind, I was like, Chop ain't gonna see this coming because I just went so hard on this boy Matt LaFleur. But the reason why I think this as well is because honestly, Brother Red was in the chat. Shout out to dog, man. Over to the podcast, man. Y'all tapped in with my dog, man.
Tap in with Brother Red.
He was in the chat earlier and he was asking about Jordan Love and what we think how he's looked. And Jordan Love has looked great. Jordan Love has made me a believer. And well, I shouldn't say that. I liked Jordan Love coming in. I really did when he was coming in. But I think he's the way he's looked, and it's preseason, of course, but if you listen to the reports and then the things that I've seen, he looks great. I really think he does, and I do like that young group. I think Chop, my dog Chop, was just a year early on Romeo Dobbs because I think maybe this year I think he shows himself. Maybe he's not gonna be a guy that we talk about like a Jamar Chase or we know those names, but can he be their Amon-Ra St. Brown? Can he be their dependable volume guy that does all the heavy lifting in the intermediate? In the short and intermediate, and then Christian, our dog Tom, man, Tom in the building, man. Where you at, man? Christian is it Watson? Christian Watson.
Christian Watson. Baby Mouse.
My dog, Baby Mouse. For whatever reason, man, Baby Randy Mouse. But Baby Mouse, what's he look like now in year two? Because the flashes that we saw from him were as advertised when he caught the ball. But no, this is a guy he's got premium top of the line speed. He's got all the measurables. He's got excellent size speed ratio. And then this is a guy as well. Even in the short little stints where I think him and Jordan Love got to play live action last year, and I think he threw him 2 touchdowns. One of them just being like a 12-yard dig across the field, and he takes that, and then 80 yards later, that's a touchdown. And so and now we get to build on that for a whole offseason, and now this next season going in. And so I really do like a lot of those young pieces. You've got David Bakhtiari, who's back and healthy. And we know he's back healthy because Aaron Rodgers tried to steal him for his own offensive line. So now he's back. So you've got that backside pretty shored up. You still got that two-headed monster. And so this is the year that Matt LaFleur can show me his chops. Because now it's no longer Aaron Rodgers' team. Now it's Matt LaFleur's team. And so I do think that they have what it takes, man, to really win this division. I do. I'm on the board with you. I'm on board with you.
Just tell me I was a year early on Matt LaFleur. That's all. Just go ahead.
No. Matt LaFleur still got to show me. I haven't seen that yet. But this is his chance to show me though. But I do like that young team. I like how Jordan loves his look. And yeah, man, I'm with you there. I don't know if we've ever did that. I don't know if we've ever had
not on bold predictions. Not on bold.
We never did that on bold predictions. We never.
Gotcha. All right, well, I'm done playing, Willie Jack. All right, I did. I warmed up. I let you warm up and stuff. I ain't playing around no more, man. Cowboys will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl this year. I'm jumping off the porch. Hey, man, I ain't here to play no games. So I ain't here to play no games.
The Dallas Cowboys or the Fort Worth Cowboys? The Dallas Cowboys.
Let me clear it up. Let me make sure everybody heard me very clearly. All right, I'm gonna run this back for you. Okay, I'm gonna run it back for y'all because y'all probably just in case y'all phones is breaking up, connection bad, whatever the case may be. The Dallas Cowboys, the Jerry Jones's Dallas Cowboys, will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl this year.
Ooh, it's been a long time coming.
All right, let's talk about this here, okay?
Yeah, I got to hear this here. Is Dak Prescott still the quarterback?
Dak Prescott is still the quarterback, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing. The way this team is going to move this year, it's not going to be led by that offense, okay? We've waited year after year after year for this offense to be the ones that lead this team to the Super Bowl. Nope. it's gonna be this defense. Okay, so I'm doubling down on Michael Parsons being that defensive player of the year, but also this entire defense just being so good that they shutting teams down. Okay, and yeah, Dak, you might make a mistake here or there, but let's not forget this hasn't always been a part of Dak's game. Last year was the worst season Dak has ever played. I don't expect him to come back and have that same type of performance that he's had, this past year. I expect them to have a different type of performance. They don't have what's my guy Cooper? What? No, not Cooper. The the offensive coordinator.
Well, Kellen Moore's.
Yeah, Kellen Moore. They don't have Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is known for being aggressive. You know what I'm saying? He's known for being aggressive, pushing the ball. Mike McCarthy is going to keep this ball a little bit safe. Okay, he's going to do that. They're going to run the ball a little bit more, and they're going to be led by this defense. And that's just going to be the driving force within this team. Now, don't get me wrong; they still got the offensive weapons to put up points. They got your boy back there. What you say, Willie Jack? Free TP,
free TP, man, the best running back in the NFC East, man. That's the guy you're talking about, Tony Pop. Yeah, there you go.
No, I didn't say the best.
You come around.
I ain't say the best. No. Hey, you going too far. I think you're going a little bit too far. But they still got TP, man, a great weapon in that backfield. You still got CeeDee Lamb over there. And the offensive line will always be able to drive this offense, especially when you bring a guy like Zach Martin. This Zach Martin back and make sure he gets paid. This lets me know this team is all in, you know what I'm saying, as they should be. But this defense is going to be the driving force of this particular team. And what their goal is going to be, I think this team is going to represent the NFC going into the Super Bowl. The Eagles are, of course, it's another one of those teams, but it's not that many strong teams in the NFC. Once you get past the Eagles, the 49ers, according to Willie Jack, they won't be one of the stronger teams going into the season. But in my opinion, once you get past the Eagles and 49ers, what you got, the Cowboys? That may be it in terms of like strong teams, like real Super Bowl contenders. You know what I'm saying? It's just those three. So I don't think they have that much competition in terms of getting there. I think the New Orleans Saints is going to have a better record than people are going to think, but I don't think their actual team is going to be as good as the top teams in the NFC. So I got the Cowboys representing the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, man. They will represent. I didn't say they're going to win it, but they will represent and the NFC going to the Super Bowl.
I'm not gonna lie, man. That's pretty strong, Chop. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like my last was gonna be a little bit of a dud because I didn't know you was going all in like that.
Oh, yeah, it's bold predictions, baby. I told you I was going to play. I'm off the porch.
Hey, but no, I ain't mad at it though, man. And honestly, said the tried and true, I guess, feeling or sentiment around that Dallas team is that they're always loaded, but is Dak just as much hindrance as he is help? You know what I mean? And so. Does Dak get out his own way? Kellen Moore is gone now, so Mike McCarthy is now taking a firmer grip on that offense, hoping to save his job so that he's still the coach of this Cowboys team next year. So we'll see how that goes. I think if with Tony Pollard being the lead back there, assuming he comes back healthy, like you said, I think Mike McCarthy will try to be a little more balanced in his attack and maybe not just give the keys to the Ferrari to Dak. And so. I like a lot of those things you said, man, but it's still hard for me to imagine, man. It's crunch time. They're going to have to see either Philly or San Francisco, with the example you just made there. They have to see one of those guys in the playoffs, and we know San Francisco has punched Dallas' ticket, 2 of the last 3 years they've made the playoffs. I think both those games at home as well. And in all of those losses, man, Dak has played poorly. I mean, you know what I mean? So, man, that's a big bold statement, man. But like I said, if you get a clean season from Dak, man, and that defense performs the way that we anticipate that maybe they can, especially with Michael Parsons, both of our picks for defense player of the year this year. I mean, you might be on to something, man. You might be on to something. I just don't know if I can put that much faith in Dak, man. No, sorry, I hate that it sounds like I'm bagging on you, Dak, but man, I'm not gonna lie, man. If I got to spend my mama's rent money, I can't bet with you. So yeah, man, that just is what it is. But I like what you did there.
Come on with your last one then, big dog.
Yeah, I'm just, what I'm saying, this might not even be too bold, it might not be too bold, nothing like that. Still is gonna be the number one seed, man. Number one seed this year heading to the playoffs. That's what I'm anticipating, man. I'm anticipating the Steelers being the number one seed in the AFC when it's all said and done, man. The road to the Super Bowl will go through Pittsburgh for this 2023 season, man. Now, to do this, Chop, you have to realize to do this, you probably got to sit somewhere around 13 wins. So, and I'm sitting in knowing that you got to sit somewhere close to 13 wins. So, the road to the Super Bowl will go through Pittsburgh as the number one seed in this 2023 upcoming season. That's how I'm feeling. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm thinking. And honestly, for a lot of the reasons you just said, man, I think our defense is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting for sure. And I really do think we get a massive increase this year. Similar to the jump in the step we saw Trevor Lawrence take from his first year to his second year under Doug Peterson. I'm really anticipating a massive step forward for Kenny Pickett. I love the weapons we've got. George Pickens is going to announce himself on a national stage here before too long. And then, like I said, we've got a lot of pieces. We've done a lot of work fixing some of these holes on the offensive line. And I'm telling you, man, I think my Steelers are up for a massive year this year.
Gotcha. Hey, and you know what, Willie Jack? I think Kenny Pickett is going to be better than what a lot of people think he is. Or he's not getting a lot of buzz. He's under the radar. You know what I mean? He plays with gloves on.
Hey, Kenny, two gloves, man.
Hey, man.
Kenny, two gloves. Come on.
I ain't a fan of it. But I do think he's going to play some really good ball. I think he's going to be a solid quarterback. Now, I think he's going to be one of the best? I don't think so, but I think he's going to play more than solid ball. Like, you remember, like, guys like Chad Pennington, you know, Phillip Rivers, those.
Well, Phillip Rivers was a guy for a little while, though. Phillip Rivers was a guy for a little bit.
Yeah, but I think if you look overall at his career, you'd be saying, all right.
Oh, no, he fell short, yeah.
Throughout his time, on average, hey, I put him about 8, the top, you know what I'm saying, 8 QB. And I think he could. I think when it's all said and done, Pickett could be a top. I would say anywhere from 15 to 8 QB in the league. I think that's where his range could be. I think that he may not necessarily be there this year, but I think he's going to be really good. I think he's going to be very smart. I think he's going to make good decisions, and I think you always going to be able to count on a guy like Kenny Pickett leading your team. I don't think you guys are going to be able to go wrong. And with that being said, if he can provide that type of, production on offense, I think your defense is going to be able to hold it down. Now, here's the one thing that I have a question about. Y'all OC, man. Y'all OC.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's him. We're going to see if it's him this year for sure. I'm not sure if he's the one to really get Kenny Pickett to where he needs to be. We're going to see. But I don't. That's the one thing in terms of y'all offense. I'm not a huge fan of, or I'm not gonna say I'm not a huge fan. I have the most question marks about. That's what I say.
No, trust me. Those feelings are shared amongst Steeler Nation as well, man. But if this preseason, like I said, it's always preseason. But if this preseason is any indicator, the first team offenses look great. Kenny's looked great, and so it looks like maybe they've found some type of groove, man. And so, like I said, I'm really anticipating, like I said, the defense doing heavy lifting. I'm thinking our defense is going to be a top 5 unit this year easily. I think maybe we're even close to a top 3 unit. I'm a little worried about our secondary, but I'm telling you, at the cornerback position. But I love our safety room. We got the best edge guy in the game. Love the guys we've got up front. I mean, I think we're poised, man, to make a really big push this year. And like I said, man, I think y'all been sleeping on us just long enough, and we're gonna wake y'all up aggressively this year.
I think y'all secondary gonna be fine. Joey Porter, I think I already told you Joey Porter was my number 2 cornerback going into the draft. Yeah. So I really like Joey Porter. I think he's gonna be good, man.
No, I think he's gonna do well. I just don't know how fast he'll hit the ground running though.
Plus he got that dog in his blood. I'm just gonna put that in.
Oh, that's
his daddy was a dog. The dog
didn't play no games. That's a fact. Yeah,
for sure. All right, moving on to my last one, man. And I don't think this one is going to be any secret.
Audio.
Huh?
Uh-oh.
You lost my audio?
Uh-oh, don't do this to me. Chop, hold on. All right, bear with us. Bear with us real quick. Chop will be right back.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
No, not yet. I'll tell you, while Chop's working on his audio, I'll recap my predictions and give Chop time for his to get his audio straightened out. I went with Garrett Wilson finishes as a Triple Crown winning receiver, leads the league in receiving receptions, yards, and touchdowns. I also have Green Bay winning the NFC. We've never had duplicate bold predictions. This is the first for us. We both got Green Bay winning that division. Now, here's a change for myself. I've got San Francisco missing the playoffs. So I'm curious to see what this team looks like with Brock Purdy being the guy and coming in to be the guy week one and also coming off injury to do so. And then especially, like I was saying before, he's not sneaking up on anybody now. And so now the teams are going to have a chance to fully dissect everything he does well and does not so well. I'm curious to see if they can regain that lightning in a bottle. And then lastly, for your dog, my Steelers will finish as the number one seed in the AFC, the playoffs. The road to the Super Bowl will go through Pittsburgh. And yeah, there you have it. Chop, talk to me, man.
Hey, can you hear me now? Please tell me you can hear me. Tell me you can hear me.
Nothing at all. No. Oh, man. Oh, Chop. You can hear me. I don't know if you want to send it to me in the chat and I'll read it for you, or if you want to keep playing around with it. Or
man, I'm trying to get this. Oh, they can't do me like this, dog.
That just happened to you, dog.
Okay, let me see if I can switch it like this.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna get in the chat real quick. Let me see here. Shout out to my dog, No Vultures, man. My dog, Brother Red. He said, "Now, Willie, that is a bold pick." I'm assuming he's talking about my pick for San Francisco. Hey, our dog Miles is in the building, man. He said he can hear you.
Yeah.
Say something, Chop.
Can you hear me now?
I can't hear you, but Miles in the chat says he can hear you.
Oh, dang, they can hear me.
Hey, if they can hear you, then go ahead and go with it, man. I just can't hear you, and you have to post put on the screen what your prediction is, because I can't hear you.
Okay, as long as my dogs, the film fam can hear me, then that's how we're gonna work it out, man. We're gonna work it out like that. And here's my last bold prediction, man. This is it. We're gonna get in and we're gonna get out of here. The Giants will not only finish last in the division, but Sam Howell will finish with more passing yards and passing touchdowns than Daniel Jones.
Okay, wait, I can hear you now. Now you just kicked in for me. All right, say that again.
Oh, that means I must have been talking
to you. And I saw the Giants, but then you kicked in and you was talking about Sam Howell, so I got confused.
Okay, so the Giants will finish last in the division, and not only that, I'm gonna double down on it. Sam Howell will finish with more passing yards and passing touchdowns than Daniel Jones, than a $40 million man. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Okay, and here's why. First and foremost, this is where you talk about somebody that's motivated. Eric Bieniemy got something to prove, and Eric Bieniemy with all those toys that he has over there. And see, this is the thing too. We go back to what when the move was originally made. When I was telling people, I was like, "Look, man, I like this move for Eric Bieniemy because one, it takes him from out of the shadow of Andy Reid, even if he wasn't necessarily, even if most people felt differently because other people were getting shots and he just didn't. That's cool, but to kill all of that, all right, let me go on over here and do this. All right, that's one thing. Then people was like, out of all organizations, they go to the Washington organization. Well, one, Washington was already investigating their owner, which they got him out of the door. They got new owners in there, so they got new ownership. That's a plus. Then on top of that, I think people forgot, like, Washington held that last playoff spot, that wild card spot, until maybe the last 2 weeks of the season last year. So they wasn't just an awful or a bad team. Then you talk about some of the other weapons they got. We always talk about Scary Terry. I'm a big fan of Jahan Dotson. You know, the two running backs they got back there, De'Ami Brown. Like, they got some guys on offense, and then they got one of the better defenses. They got a good defensive team. They have a lot of pieces in place. The only piece that we were really questionable about, or were really questioning, was their quarterback position, in which we saw what Taylor Heineke brought. We saw what Carson Wentz brought to the table. You know what I'm saying? They brought, different things, feistiness, whatever you want to call it. Now Sam Howell's the starting quarterback. A lot of us don't know what we're going to get. I know one thing: we're going to get a guy that's going to be that has plays with a little edge. You know what I'm saying? The way Eric Bieniemy is going to orchestrate this offense, he's going to scheme a lot of guys open. And then on top of that, the guys have the talent. to get open too. They have the talent to make those plays. If you put them in position, they can do that. Not to mention Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel is not one of the best, but Curtis Samuel is a difference maker. With the ball in his hands, he makes plays. So just looking at this entire Washington team, I think they are better orchestrated than the Giants defense. I think the Giants team. I also think that Giants defense, they covered up some holes in that defense. And I think this year we're gonna see a little bit of that get exposed. We're gonna see some of that opened up. Now, I also feel like with the Giants, we saw what they brought to the table. We knew what type of team they were. Now they still bring the best of the business back, so that's gonna always put them. You know what I'm saying? They bring the best of the business back, and then they bring over Darren Waller. I think Darren Waller will have an impact on this team, but I still am not sold on Daniel Jones. Brian Daboll is going to have to do a lot to help Daniel Jones continue. To be a good quarterback, because I wouldn't even say continue to be, because I don't think his season was all that this past year. But they're gonna have to do a lot to help this team win those games, and I think they're gonna run into a monster coming against Eric Bieniemy in that Washington offense. So again, not only will the Giants finish last in the division, Sam Howell will also outplay Daniel Jones this season, man. That's my bold prediction, for 2023. My last one.
And honestly, I think Sam Howell and that I almost said the old name. And Magic Johnson's Washington football team. I think Sam Howell and Magic Johnson's Washington football team are going to have a better year than maybe we anticipate just looking in. And honestly, he's looked well in the preseason so far. And so I think he got some pretty good run. I want to say this last preseason game, I want to say he played an extended amount of time, and he looked pretty good, man. So he's got a live arm. We knew that when he's coming in from North Carolina. And then also, like I said, I do think that with the weapons they've got, Eric Bieniemy coming over, bringing that Chiefs offense there. And just like you said, man, I love those weapons. Love Scary Terry. I missed it on Jahan Dotson coming out from Penn State. And so he's way more explosive and way shiftier than I thought he was when I watched him coming in, and he's been fantastic. And so I do agree with you there. And yet, man, it sounds like you're pretty high on this team. Look, you got Emmanuel Forbes, the rookie corner, being defensive rookie of the year for them as well. So, but all told, I wasn't high on the Giants last year as well, so it doesn't surprise me at all if they're going to finish last. They probably got, the second, maybe the third best running back in the division. You got the worst quarterback in the division now. I mean, I don't know what else. I don't know what else you can expect.
Hey,
I don't know what else you can expect.
You better stop this disrespect, Willie Jack. You stop this disrespect, dog.
Hey, no, but in seriousness though, man, I do agree that I think Washington is probably going to be a little better. I don't know how much better they'll be, but I do think they are going to be a tough out for everybody they play. So I think they may be one of those teams where maybe they still hover somewhere between 7 and 9 wins, but all of those losses were tough, hard fought losses. So I do agree with you there. And then also, man, last thing, one thing you said, I think Darren Waller's going to have a massive year. I think Darren Waller is going to have one of those borderline comeback player of the year type of years. Like, I'm thinking Darren Waller's going to be, I mean, I don't want to just say just drop Travis Kelce's name or whatnot, but with Brian Daboll in there cooking and putting things together, like I said, they don't have many weapons on the outside strong enough to take away, I think, touches from Darren Waller. So I think Darren Waller goes into this season for them as the primary pass catcher in that offense. And so I think everything's definitely going to be teed up for him. I'm not sure we're not sure what we're going to get from Saquon. I mean, we know he's coming back. He signed the deal, but I don't know what type of heart he's playing with. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna get. You getting 1,500. No, you getting 1,800 from scrimmage. That's what you get.
Hey, man, look, 1,800 to 2,000. They still last in that division, man. That means something ain't adding up then, Chop. If he doing like that, man, and he's the guy you tell me he is, if he going off like that, they still last in that division, and he ain't that guy.
I tell you, hey, I watched Christian McCaffrey do it multiple times. Hey, stop playing with me, dog. Oh, yeah, stop playing, dog.
Man, you always talking about old stuff, man. Man, recap your bold predictions. Recap your bold predictions, man.
Right, man. Recap my bold predictions, man. I'm going back into it. My first bold prediction, man, Brock Purdy. He throwing for over 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, at least 30 touchdowns. I also said the Packers, they will win that division, man. I like Matt LaFleur over there, man. Packers will win that division. The Cowboys, probably my biggest bold prediction of all the ones that I had. The Cowboys will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl this year. And then last but not least, man, the Giants will not only finish last in the division, but Sam Howell will outplay Daniel Jones this year, man. Those are my bold predictions going into 2023. I had a couple more, Willie Jack, but I'm gonna keep them in the back, man. I'm gonna keep them in the back.
Keep in the
You know
tuck.
all I'm gonna say is Corey Davis ain't cut yet, dog. Corey Davis ain't been cut yet, so I'm just gonna put that out there. You know what I'm talking about. If you ain't, don't worry about
I know
it.
what you're talking about.
Recap
I can
this.
tell you this: Corey Davis won't have 20 receptions on the year. Put that in your list.
If Corey Davis have 20 receptions, Alan Lazard gonna have 19.
Hey, I ain't mad at that at all. Well, honestly, man, when we were having sound issues, I'll recap my predictions to give you time to get it together.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I don't know if I need to go back over them again, man. But
Well, it's cool. It's cool. If you already recapped them, then we good there. We already let them know what's going on. Next week, we taking a break next week. We out because after that, man, we going full fledged, man.
Yes, sir.
Full fledged into the season. And just to put it out there, just so y'all know what's going on, we will be live not only Wednesday nights, but we will be live Sunday mornings as well. We're gonna be doing the recap Wednesday night and also do a Thursday night game, a Thursday night preview on Wednesdays, and then on Sundays we'll be doing just a recap of
morning show. Chop Willie in the morning is back, baby.
That's right, Chopping Willie in the morning. We're gonna be recapping the we'll be recapping the Thursday night game, but also previewing all Sunday games and the Monday night game, man. So, hey, if y'all looking for something to watch, some pre-games to watch, man, check in with us, man. Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. starting not this next week, but the week after. We're gonna take a break next week. So no, we usually in here, you know what I'm saying? No watches. Y'all know what my dog Willie Jack say, but we're taking a break because we getting ready for the long haul, man. We're gonna get ourselves together, take a little bit of a break before we enter this season, man. Hey, but I guarantee you, man, we're gonna be here, me and Willie Jack, each and every week, Wednesdays and Sundays, man. So hey, just giving y'all a heads up. Next week we out. I mean, we off. We'll come back with the season predictions, division winners, Super Bowl predictions, all that type of stuff. But yeah, man, we're gonna come back full fledged. Willie Jack.
Hey, y'all heard my dog say, man, one more time, man. I know he said it 12 times, but one more time. We will not be live next Wednesday. Man. But the following Wednesday, man, we back in this thing like we left something, man. The regular season's here. That means we get to double up, man. Wednesday recap, Sunday morning show, man. So can't wait for that. I'm gonna go ahead and run it down, man. One more time for them members in the chat today, man. Appreciate all the love today. We had some few issues throughout the day. My chat wasn't working. We may or may not have lost sound. Maybe I just lost Chop sound, but man, y'all thugged it out with us, so we always appreciate that. The home team was in the building, man. Shout out to Mom Dude. Shout out to my baby sister. Man, my dog, man, tapped in with us, man. Cashola, man, my dog feed my brother, man, all the way from ATL. Him and Wifey was in the building. Appreciate you as well, sis. They was in the building. Man, them members was in here as well. We had Brother Law in the building, man. Mr. Tate was in this thing holding us down. Chop's dog Brooks was in the building, man. Chop's dog didn't need my dog, man. Our dog Brooks was in the building today. And then, man, some of the members for sure, man. No Vultures, the podcast. My dog, my brother Red was in the building, heavy holding us down. We appreciate that as always. Tap in with my dog, man. There's No Vultures, the podcast. Tap in. My dog gets into a wide range of topics, man. Sports. He's big into hip hop as well. He's a big boxing head like myself, man. He's got excellent content that just dropped discussing the Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence fight, mega fight that happened, as well as the Inoue and man, that's boxing talk, man. But he gets into a lot of stuff over there, man. So it's good content. Go check my dog out. Our dog Miles is in the building, man. Hold us down from Georgia as well, man. One more time as well, man, for my dog. Oh man, Miles, help me out, bro. The company name. Drop it in the chat for me right now.
Prospect and Precision Painting.
There we go, man. Prospect and Precision Painting for sure. They're based out of Atlanta. This is 2023. Don't play yourself. Plane, trains, and automobiles, man. He can get to you anywhere in the country, man. So hit my dog up, man. Good business sales itself, man. I ain't got to do too much. But that's painting, that's drywall restoration. That's a lot of any and everything associated, man. So tap in. Check my dog out, man. Like I said, he can get to you just about anywhere in the country. So do good business with good folks, man, and you'll reward yourself. Man, y'all, Steve Prince is always holding us down as well, man. These shirts press. Y'all know what's going on. No Balls, No Glory, man. Tap in with those boys on YouTube on Thursdays as well, man. They get real busy, man. Man, I'm thinking, man, y'all know, I'm scrolling, I'm thinking in my mind, hey, look, you know what time it is. I say it every week, so y'all can say it with me at home, man. If I forgot to say your name, damn. My bad. But charge it to my head, don't charge it to my heart. You know we think about you, big dog. Y'all know we love and appreciate all the support as always, man. Love how engaged I was in the chat, man. Like I said, it always just makes the show that much better and more enjoyable for me and my dog Chop, man. So, man, just like he said, Wednesdays we ain't wearing no watches. We will not be here next Wednesday, though, man. Next Wednesday, we will not be here. The following Wednesday, we back in this thing, and then you get a double dose, man. We'll be coming right back Sunday with the morning show. So get your morning started right, man. Chop Willie in the morning, man. Other than a cup of coffee and maybe how you do for your wife in the morning, man. Ain't nothing else you got going on Sunday morning. So tap in with your dogs, man, before you get your football Sunday started. And other than that, we will be back, man. Not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday. Till then, y'all stay smooth. Peace.
Peace.